You're about to watch the first official episode of the Through the Wire podcast, a podcast me and my homies put together. We talk about basketball every single day, so we decided to just put a camera and a bunch of mics in front of us. So this is the first time we've done something like this, but I must admit it was really fun. So a quick little backstory before we get into it. We are just a group of friends that talk basketball. This is the first time we've ever done it with the camera in front of us, and they're not used to having cameras. I have cameras in front of me for a living, but I think it all went really well. Basically, what we do in this first episode, we predict how many wins we think each team is gonna have, and it's a long one. It's like 2 hours long because we get into it deep, and it was really fun. In the description, I'll have the link to all of their social medias, their YouTube pages if you want to go over there, subscribe, follow them on Twitter. But Through the Wire podcast, baby, we are here. I'll also try to put the timestamp for every single team. I recommend that you watch the whole thing because obviously I'm going to say that because we put so much time and effort into it. But if you specifically want to know what we think about your favorite team, the link will be in the description. You can just click on it. But again, you should watch the whole thing. We're also in process of getting it onto iTunes. Maybe by the time this video is published, it'll be on there. Just check the description, and I'll have a link if it's published there. So if you don't want to watch it or you want to listen to it on the go, you can. And I really would recommend it if we get to that point where it's on iTunes, that y'all go rate it on iTunes and let people know that this is the real deal. We're here. So thank y'all so much. Let's get into it. Welcome to Through the Wire, a podcast, a bunch of friends talking about basketball, music, and other things. To my right, I got Mike, Pierre, and DMills. We're going to start this podcast off talking about the Vegas odds that were just released a couple days ago. Kind of playing a game named Too High or Too Low. Y'all ready, boys?
Let's get it, man.
First team, Atlanta Hawks. Vegas has them going, about 25 games won this season. Mike, too high or too low?
I'd say that's actually just about right. They lost a lot of key players, so the expectations are not going to be as high. They're going to have role players and newbies coming in, so they don't really have high standards, but they want to make sure that they're getting some progress in.
P?
I say under. I got them losing. I got them winning a lot less games. I don't think Dennis Schroeder can lead a team. They got a lot of unproven talent. Dwayne Dedmon is their center.
Yeah.
Jason Collins is a rookie. So I'm not a believer.
So 25, that's really low. So you're thinking they're going to be the worst team in the East, basically?
Yeah, them or the Bulls. They're definitely going to be battling for that position. And I don't think it's a bad thing with this draft.
Right. DMills.
I think it's pretty accurate, man. I think they're not going to be good. They're not going to be a factor in the East, even though the East is bad. Their team is really bad. So
True.
There's just no chance of them stealing many games.
Here's my take. They're going to be bad. They're going to be really bad. 25 games is about right. I'm really upset with them because they let Paul Millsap go for pretty much nothing. No, well, not pretty much nothing. Exactly nothing. Same thing happened with Al Horford last season. They could be using those pieces to actually build on their team. And right now, other than Schroeder, they don't have anything. Taurean Prince.
They banking on Kim Bazemore having
Kim Bazemore
all-star campaign type season, which I doubt is likely.
I like Jason Collins, though. Then he posterized somebody in Summer League this year, and I was like, okay. Even though that don't equal he's going to be good, but it's like at least Atlanta fans got something to watch. And then they got the new arena. I don't know if that's this season or next season. They got a barber shop in the arena. I don't know.
I never thought Dennis Schroeder was even.
I'm not gonna lie.
Even that good anyway.
I feel you. I think he's a middle of the line point guard in the league.
Yeah.
I'm actually happy with what they're doing because, they could have did better with what they had when they let Horford and Millsap go for nothing. But I was kind of tired of them being stuck. There was always a mediocre team, and I'm ready to see a change.
I feel you 100%. Same thing with the Bulls. They've always been the middle of the pack, always good enough to be good in the regular season. Postseason comes around, what happens?
Disappointment.
LeBron happens. That's literally it. All right, we'll move on to the second team being the Boston Celtics. Y'all know they made some big moves this offseason, predicting to win 56 games. We'll start off with you, DMills.
And honestly, I don't think the Kyrie Irving pickup is going to help them that much. They lost a lot of core pieces to their team. I don't think they're going to be that. They're going to be up there because the East is bad, but in all honesty, can they make it out the second round? I thought they wouldn't make it out the second round of the playoffs because what if they end up being matched up with the Wizards? I felt like John Wall would kill Kyrie Irving in that matchup, and it was just – I feel like that series would go Washington in 6.
Okay. You ignoring Gordon Hayward?
No, I'm not ignoring him, but is he really that guy? Like, I feel like he's a good number 2, but do they even have a true number 1? Isn't Kyrie and Gordon Hayward pretty much like really good number 2s?
Okay, that's an interesting take. Pretty good number 2s, P.
I got them under 2.
Okay.
But the reason I got them under is very, very different from DMills. I'm a big fan of the Kyrie Irving trade, but I do realize that they basically reconstructed their whole team. So it's going to take them a while this season to mesh, especially because Kyrie has been so used to, I don't know if he's been too used to being a backseat on the floor and in the locker room. Now he has the responsibility of actually being a leader on and off the floor. But I have them going way deeper in the second round just because Brad Stevens is a hell of a coach. If he was able to do what he did with Isaiah Thomas, the sky's the limit for Kyrie. I like the Wizards, and I do look at them as like legit competition for them, but like they got the same team. Like Brad Stevens gonna pick that team up. You can't like keep giving him the same looks. He gonna tear that team apart.
Mike,
I got them winning over 60 games this season.
Whoa, yo, 2 under than 60.
I got them winning over. This is the reason why. The big part of it is coming off Kyrie Irving. If you think about when he was a rookie in his first couple years of the season, he had basically nobody on his team. He wasn't really leading them, but he showed that he was able to do what he does. He could put more than 20-plus points on the board. Now he's going to probably get around 30 a game. I don't know how many assists he's going to average, but this is what you want to see. You don't know if he's going to have his scoring role. You don't know if he's going to be more of a facilitator, but the pieces around him, and he also has Gordon Hayward, who can also take the pressure off of him. Al Horford, he's going to, I don't know, maybe 16, 8 a game, somewhere around there. So with Al Horford stretching the floor, Kyrie Irving do what he does best. He don't have to take no backseat. But this is where Kyrie Irving has to prove himself to what he said about he don't want to be backseat to LeBron.
So what do y'all think this start lineup going to look like? Because they got so many wings and not really a power forward, but just a bunch of wings on the team. So are they going to put Marcus Morris at power forward? Are they going to do Jason Tatum? What do you think their plan is?
I'm guessing it will be, well, I'm not guessing, but I'm hoping it will be Kyrie at the 1, Jason Tatum at the 2, Gordon Hayward at the 3, Marcus Morris at the 4, Horford at the 5. Then off the bench you have Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, Aaron Baines, Rozier. But realistically, I think they might give Jaylen Brown the edge over Tatum. But right. I like Tatum a lot more.
I feel you. Y'all don't think that Aaron Baines should be starting? Because Al Horford thinks he's a power forward. He doesn't get any rebounds. Tough guy Aaron Baines. He could be starting.
I think they're going to have to put Al Horford at center. They could play a little bit more of a small ball as teams do anyway. And they're going to have rebounding, especially Gordon Hayward, he's an all right rebounder. And if they do start Jason Tatum, he's got some length to him. I'm hoping they just start Jaylen Brown at the 2, put Gordon Hayward at 3, or they can flip-flop it however they want to. Because Jason Tatum's coming in with the scoring mindset as he's going to do. And I think they're just going to have Marcus Smart, Jason Tatum, and Aaron Baines lead their bench whenever Kyrie and Gordon Hayward are getting some rest.
Did y'all see that clip of Jason Tatum at the 2K event the other day? He was playing with the Boston Celtics. The team had 17 points, and he had 17 points. So he basically just went into the game and took all the shots. If he going to have that type of mentality this year, I think he's going to be good. There are a lot of people thinking that, well, maybe not a lot of people. I saw this on Instagram. People believe that Jaylen Brown's going to have an all-star season. We're not talking about him stepping up and averaging 10 or 15. They're thinking all-star. Yes or no?
No, I don't see it at all. I don't see it. I would be highly surprised if he's ever all-star.
True.
Where is he getting his offense from? Where he's going to become an all-star? He didn't have it last year. He's just going to come up all of a sudden.
I said on Twitter, if Jaylen Brown becomes an all-star, I'm giving $100 to a follower. That's what I said, because that's how little I believe that this is actually going to happen.
Oh, at his position, who is he going to outplay?
They're saying it because there's going to be so many spots. Jimmy Butler's in the West, Paul George's in the West, and Paul Millsap is in the West. But still, there are players that will probably get it over him. Like he's not even the third best player on his team.
Otto Porter.
Bradley Beal was snubbed last season. Definitely deserved to be an all-star.
Zach LaVine if healthy. I mean, they lost.
You batted your ass that way.
Why you don't like that? You an ancient Bulls fan? I'm telling you, Zach LaVine is. I will put $1,000 that Zach LaVine becomes an All-Star before Jaylen Brown.
I'm not saying Zach LaVine isn't a good player. Is he an All-Star?
No. I'm not saying he's an All-Star, but I'm saying because he mentioned that so much happened in the East and so much opened up that Zach LaVine is a name with being on a team like the Chicago Bulls, where he can make an All-Star campaign.
Coming off that ACL injury?
I said if healthy.
He looked good though. He's already dunking. He already dunking.
Very good.
But that's me being optimistic as a Bulls fan. But he looked good in the clips. He's got that whole workout routine on his website.
The core thing, yeah.
He just looked like he's gonna be good, and he's a worker too. So at least that's one thing I'm excited to watch him play this season.
And the Bulls literally have no one else.
And we'll talk about that in a second. Next team, Brooklyn Nets, projected to win about 28 games, 28-54 is their projected record. We'll start with you, Mike.
I'd say that's over. In my opinion, I think they're.
Wait. You think they're going to win more?
No, I mean less.
So it's that's too high.
Yeah, too high.
Okay.
In my opinion, I think they're in the position that the Philadelphia 76ers are back in. They just have a bunch of young talent with some people that are making names, with D'Angelo Russell. Jeremy Lin is probably one of their biggest veterans on their team. So they're the new the process.
I'm going out on a limb here and say over.
Boom. I'm with you.
I like the D'Angelo Russell thing. I'm a fan of D'Angelo Russell, so I'm hoping he can take advantage of this new situation because I feel like throughout his career so far, he hasn't been given the fair shot as a number 2 overall pick. His rookie year, he had the Kobe farewell tour. Then at the end of that season, he had the Nick Young distraction. The second year, Luke Walton comes in with a whole new system. So that was a big deal. Now he gets a new clean slate in Brooklyn. They have very, very, very good young pieces to go along with him. I'm a big fan of Karis LeVert. Alan Crabb, I hope he takes advantage of a new scenery. Mozgov, to me, is a good for a team like the Nets. They got the new center, Jared Allen, as well in the draft. Damari Carroll is a perimeter defender. Jeremy Lin that you mentioned. I just feel like they got a lot of good pieces to win at least 30, 31 games, so.
I think it's right at where they're going to be. I don't think they're going to be that good.
Okay. I'm with the over too. I mean, I think it's too low. I think they're going to win about 30 games this year. I believe in D'Angelo Russell too. I believe in Kenny Atkinson and coach. My main thing is that they don't really have a reason to lose. They don't have their first round pick this year, so they don't have a reason to tank. And I think that's one of the main reasons why Boston Celtics, they traded that pick, was because they actually believe that this team is not the worst team in the league no more. That pick may end up being a number 5, number 6 pick. One thing I am curious about is what they plan on doing with Jeremy Lin. They may move him. They could probably get a mid-level first-round pick for him. A playoff team needing some backup PG, because Jeremy Lin is still one hell of a player. So I'm going to go over about 30, 31.
That's going to be a big headliner, too. If they turn out to be good and the Cavaliers got that pick, that's going to be very, very big.
Next, the Charlotte Hornets projected to win 42 games. 42. Start with you, Pierre.
I'm going under. I am not a believer. Every year, Dwight Howard goes to a new team, and I say, this could be it. He can put it together. But I'm done with that whole thing. Jeremy Lamb, disappointment. I think they're going to put too much pressure on Malik Monk to be a perimeter threat. Gilchrist, love his defense, but he's absolutely no threat. They just can't spread the floor for Kemba Walker. So, I mean, when the defense collapses on him, he has no options to kick it out to, and that's why I believe too much pressure will be put on Malik Monk to hit shots. They gave away Marco Bellinelli for Dwight Howard, so no, I'm okay with them. Under.
How about you, Mike?
I'm under as well. For this season, I mean that's a good reaching point that they can aim for. Hopefully, they just see what their young talent's going to come do. They got to see if Malik Monk and Michael Carter-Williams can run the bench at least. Kemba's going to come up and do his thing. He does it almost every year. We don't know what to really expect from Dwight Howard. I mean, it's just everybody's doing a little progress step, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't believe in Frank Kaminsky.
he was talking about spacing earlier. I mean, Frank Kaminsky and Marvin Williams are still on that team, so they can space the floor a little bit.
Marvin Williams is not a Hornet, I believe.
He's not?
Not anymore.
I'm not sure.
I don't remember this ever happening. I don't remember him ever leaving.
Did he go to Atlanta?
I think he was a free agent this year, but I don't know if they re-signed him. Even if they didn't, I like Frank Kaminsky being from where he's from.
He's so big, yeah.
How about you, DMills? What do you think, over and under for this team?
I think 42 wins is legit, like, a good place for them because I think Kemba and Dwight, they could probably steal a couple games for them. They can get them above 500. With those two pieces and them being in the East, like, I feel like that's more than enough for them to at least be a little bit above 500.
My bad, too. Correction. Marvin Williams is still on the Hornets.
Okay.
He's involved in the Dwight trade.
Okay.
But do you really believe in Frank Kaminsky to space the floor? Because,
I do.
I mean, he hasn't done it thus far. I know he can do it, but
Is he going to have a choice? I mean, if you look at the league right now, everybody's just learning how to shoot.
no, Frank Kaminsky can shoot.
I know
He's
he
been
can.
shooting since college, but in the NBA, he hasn't. His spacing hasn't helped Kemba thus far. So that's why I'm saying they haven't brought any new key additions to help them spread the floor. They got the same guys that they've been relying on, and I don't see it. And I don't think Malik Monk is going to be the answer.
Hey, sometimes you gotta trust the process.
You do, but Kemba Walker is going to request a trade and be asked to move sometime if this process don't work.
This is another one of those teams that's just always in the middle of the pack.
Mm.
I don't even think they made the playoffs last year,
Right.
but they've always been like
Almost
5,
there.
6, 7, 8 seed, close to it. Them making a trade for Dwight, I think that's them like saying, okay, we're gonna try this, and if it doesn't work, then maybe we restart. Maybe we hit the reset button. Kemba's the man. Kemba is great, but the pieces around him, Nicholas Batum, he had one great season in Charlotte, but after that, what else? They don't really have much, you know. So me personally, I think 42 is too high. I'm saying 39, but that even may be enough to make the playoffs in the Eastern Conference now. 7, 8 seed.
Yeah, you're right.
So
I think they're in a win-win situation, though. They make the playoffs and everything is good. If not, Kemba Walker is a hell of a piece to trade and start rebuilding from.
for sure. Next, here, Chicago Bulls projected to win 21 games, the worst team in the league according to Vegas. DMills, we're gonna start off with you as a Bulls fan like me. Let's hear what you got to say.
I hate the way this team is put together. Honestly. I feel like it's just Garpax destroyed it. There's been no improvement since we were in the conference finals back-to-back years.
Oof.
They didn't even go out and try to get the pieces to help us, like take that next step to beat LeBron. It's all just been straight downhill, and now we're just at the bottom. It's just everything's just falling apart now. And the only way to make it better is starting with the front office, getting rid of Fred Hoiberg. Everything has to be torn apart, man. And then them trading away Jimmy for pretty much nothing. I just feel like they could have got way more for Jimmy because he's that guy. You don't trade away a top 15 player in the league for nothing,
Right.
and get a dude coming off an ACL injury and their backup point guard. Like, come on, I don't know. I feel like Thibodeau knew at hand since he is the head of their basketball, he knew if I call them, I can get something
Right.
for nothing.
I feel you. I'm gonna go next. We're gonna let the Bulls fans go next. Oh, you didn't say. Do you think 21 wins is too high or too low?
Oh yeah, it's too low.
Too low. All right.
So they're going to win more games than 21.
Actually, no, it's too high.
Too high.
Too high.
Yo, I want it to be too high. I want it to be too high because we want that first overall pick. Like you said with the Jimmy Butler trade, very, very disappointed. Draft night, I had on my Fire Guard Pack shirt because I was ready. I knew the trade was happening. We all knew the trade was happening. We just didn't know what we were getting back in return. But Laurie Marketing in the EuroLeague tournament that's going on, he put up like 24 yesterday. So he's looking good, but the competition, of course. It was against France, actually. It was against France, which has always been a really good team. 21 wins, man. That lets you know how good of a player Jimmy Butler is. Because other than that, we brought pretty much everybody back besides Jimmy.
Well, Dwayne Wade's leaving.
We're
They're
not
gonna
sure
buy
about
him
that.
out.
We're not sure. But these odds they haven't even taken that into factor just yet.
All right, then.
Yeah. So I'm going to say they're going to win 21, and I'll be fine with it. I'll be watching games, watching the young boys play, but 21 is where I'm staying. How about you, Mike?
I'm saying that's too high, especially if Dwayne Wade, if they buy out Dwayne Wade. If you look at their starting lineup, depending if they put Zach LaVine at point guard with Denzel Valentine at shooting guard, Paul Zipser at small forward.
No, they believe in Chris Dunn. They think Chris Dunn is the player of the future. They said that Cameron Payne, after the first workout when they made that trade, he's not an NBA player. They realized that he's not an NBA player. And we traded Taj and Doug McDermott for him. But, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, back to LA. Their starting lineup is basically a bench. So that's not going to work in this league if they're trying to do that. They're basically looking like the Lakers a couple of years ago.
But that turned out well. They got some nice young pieces. So I'm fine with them losing as long as they make the right draft picks after we lose, you know? How about you, Pierre?
Under. But I'm a big fan of what they did. The Jimmy Butler trade. The reason the trade is a loss for them is because they gave that pick up. If they could have kept that other pick and made 2 first-round picks, Zach LaVine and Chris Dunn, I would say they won that trade. But when you're a team like the Bulls and you're selling, you gotta make a trade. Everybody knew, Jimmy Butler was on the way out, so nobody was going to give them too much. But they took a chance. When you're in a position like the Bulls, you can afford to take a chance on a player like Zach LaVine, who has, to me, unlimited potential. I think he can be a legit all-star. And I think he could be a secondary player to a franchise player and take a team somewhere. But that roster is atrocious.
Yeah.
Cameron Payne, Bobby Portis is a guy that will be more valuable on a playoff team off a bench somewhere. Robin Lopez is damn near their best player.
For sure. And that's scary.
Who's the starting small forward?
Paul Zipser.
Who's the backup small forward?
Denzel Valentine.
Okay.
Denzel Valentine might start at shooting guard.
How?
Zach LaVine's there.
Did they get Shabazz Muhammad?
No, we didn't sign Sebastian. No.
I think it's a 0% chance Zach LaVine will be playing point guard.
Nah, yeah, that's not. They tried that. They tried that in Minnesota. It didn't really work out. Moving them over to the 2 was great.
Fire Fred Hoiberg.
I'm trying to figure out why you said LaVine is it seemed like you're trying to say that LaVine has the capability to do what Jimmy did for the Bulls.
Not at all. It's not what I'm saying. I said it's when you're a team like the Bulls. I'm gonna read this one. I'm gonna let you know why I think that. Before Zach LaVine got hurt, he was averaging 20 points as a third option behind Karl Anthony Towns and Andrew Wiggins. That is phenomenal for a player that young and that raw. He has the dunking ability, obviously, but his offensive game is very polished, number one. Number two, his injury, yes, it's a big injury, but his injury is going to help him slow down and really hone his skills and not have to rely on his athletic abilities too much. So it's going to make him a much better player. And the Bulls, they're not playing for anything, so he's going to, grow. This is a time where you have a young guy like him and you let him loose and you let him go through the growing pains, the ups and downs, and, you let him grow. And then you go out and you get a Michael Porter Jr. or Marvin Bagley and you put him with them, and next thing you know, you got something going.
Yeah, but can you trust the Bulls front office to make the right
No, I definitely agree with you.
That's the part that I
agree.
You can't.
They should strip that down. This is the time to do it now, instead of letting this team get young pieces and watching them, trade them away or something.
The main thing is that our owner, Jerry Reinsdorf, they're friends. They're homies with guard packs. You're not going to fight. If he's my homie, right? If I got him working for me, I'm not firing my mans no matter what he do. And that's the same situation with them. They don't care. They want money. Jerry Reinsdorf want money. The Bulls fans are the most loyal fans in the league. Some of the most. We pack out the place every single night, regardless of how good the team is. And as long as that money's coming in, they can be like, let's get it.
The fans got to stop buying the tickets for them.
Yeah, I know, but I'm still going to opening night. I'm still going to opening night.
You want to see them play the Cavs, bro?
I want to see LeBron. Come on.
But those games where they play LeBron on opening night aren't going to be the same no more. Like, they're not.
I feel you. The atmosphere. I feel you.
Those games are going to be trash now.
I would love to go if I can know if Zach LaVine is playing. I'm not going to a Bulls game and Zach LaVine is not in uniform. I refuse.
We're going to go on to the Cavs, since we just talking about it. Projected to win about 53 games. 53 games. I'll start it off with this one. I'm thinking that's about right. Of course, they make the trade, got rid of Kyrie Irving, but the news is that they don't even think that Isaiah Thomas will be back before the All-Star break. And that's a big, big blow. Because who's their backup PG right now?
Derrick Rose.
Oh my God! I forgot about that. But still, I mean, it's not the same. It's not the same. Obviously, I was thinking Darren Williams in my head. Yo, that's great for Derrick Rose though. I would love to see him start the season. Definitely going to the first game then. If Derrick Rose is starting for the Cavs, come on now, you definitely got to be in attendance.
I didn't put that into it. Yeah, I forgot about him.
But they're still not sure if that hip injury is going to be better before February. So. And even after that, we don't know how good he's going to be after February. But they have LeBron. So that's all I have to say. They have LeBron, and LeBron will be LeBron. Mike?
54 wins?
54.
I feel like that's about right. When in doubt, LeBron it out. LeBron is still the best player in this league.
I like it.
Kevin Durant coming for him, but you got to give it to LeBron. LeBron's going to win, especially passing this East. Derrick Rose and LeBron on the break, that's going to be something to see. They brought in Jay Crowder. I don't know how they're going to factor him into the rotation, but J.R. Smith is J.R. Smith, but when in doubt, LeBron's going to lead that team probably top 3 in the East.
True.
I say just right. I got them anywhere from 50 to 54. They showed last year that they don't really need home court advantage on the eastern side. So I think they're going to try to rest LeBron as much as they can. And then, with the Isaiah thing, and it's a whole new team. So, I don't know. Who cares? They'll be fighting for a championship spot regardless. So
exactly.
It really doesn't even matter.
Yeah, their regular season record doesn't mean much to LeBron. It don't matter.
Not at all.
What about you, DMills?
I think they'll win a little bit more than 55.
55, okay.
Because they're in the East, and LeBron's going to tear up the East. I feel like most of their losses are going to come from out West. But even then, they're going to win games. They're going to win at least 60, I think.
Okay.
They're going to be the number 1 seed in the East, in my opinion. They're way better than the Celtics.
They are, but at this point in LeBron's career, where he's been playing so much basketball, do you think his main thing is to win 60 games?
No. But,
especially in the East, where they might not have to even win that many games to be the number 1 seed.
Yeah, but if you're blowing out teams, aren't you being rested anyway? Is he playing?
Are they blowing out teams, though?
Well,
besides the Bulls or Hawks.
Hey, to add to that point, though, I'm a big fan of LeBron. LeBron is on that team no matter what. LeBron's going to want to see this team get ready for the playoffs. He's going to dominate. But a lot of times this team falls apart in the playoffs. So I think getting this team as ready as they can for this is definitely a part of his mindset.
Yeah, definitely. I'm a LeBron fan, too. And being a LeBron fan lets me know that LeBron likes controversy. So he wants his team not to get too hot. He don't want this team to feel like, they're the best thing since sliced bread. So he likes the ups and downs. He likes the growing pains because he knows that's what it takes to be a championship team. So I think he's going to want to get that out of the way as soon as possible. So when the playoffs do come, they've already went through all that.
So wait. If Isaiah Thomas is going to be out to the All-Star break and they have Derrick Rose as their starting point guard and they already figured out the rhythm and how everything goes, how do you implement Isaiah Thomas into that lineup without messing anything up?
You start him.
You just throw him in the starting lineup?
Just throw him in there.
I think that's really bad.
You got to think.
That's a completely different player. They play completely different.
I agree, and I say the exact opposite. I
think you bring him off the bench.
So
he's
you have
been before.
But then, isn't that going to cause controversy with him? Because he wanted to be that starting point guard. He's worked for that. And then,
that's very true, but he's come off an injury, so that's where the Cavs have the leverage. You're coming off an injury. We're doing well.
Right now, we're making the assumption that Derrick Rose is going to have a great season at that point, right?
Well, why would we think otherwise?
I'm not saying that Derrick Rose won't. I'm just saying that what type of season are we expecting? We're expecting the season he had last year, 18 and 5.
18, 4 and 5 as a third option in a triangle in a New York.
I think he
drama field season.
Are we biased here? Are we biased about Derrick Rose here?
I think we're biased, but Derrick Rose, it looks like he's attacking more, and he's still probably one of the hardest people to stay in front of. We know Kevin, especially with Kevin Love out letting that ball to him, he's gonna get the ball on the break a lot, so he's not gonna have to go back and get it himself. That's what I'm saying. LeBron, and I'm saying D Rose is getting at least 6 to 8 points off fast break a game.
I think his assist numbers will increase because he has way more talent around him than he did in New York.
Okay.
Most of his assists came with like Porzingis and the pick and roll, pick and pop situation. Now he has Kevin Love, and then he got LeBron and J.R. Smith on the wings. Like, I feel like,
Man.
I'm a little biased because I'm a big Derrick Rose fan, even though I hate the Bulls. But I'm also not biased because the numbers that he put up, favor him having a good year. And I think Derrick Rose is better when it's meaningful basketball.
Okay.
Before you go on, I also want to say, I don't really expect Derrick Rose to be as much of a facilitator. I expect him to attack because he's got one of the best passers in the league on his team. And I feel like him getting more going is going to make him feel more comfortable than him just passing the ball and going through the motions.
Saying he's never been an assist guy. Even his MVP year, where he had like 7-8 assists, he's never been that type of guy.
yeah, but sometimes it just comes naturally. Like,
If he's attacking, it's
Yeah,
gonna open
yeah.
up the court for him. So I mean, he's not gonna I'm gonna pass as he's coming down the court. He's gonna look to attack those opening areas.
The Cavs do have the best front court in basketball. LeBron, Love, and Tristan. I think.
Okay. All right.
better than KD and Draymond.
That's what I'm thinking.
I mean,
Yes.
JaVale McGee.
Yes.
I'm thinking about this way. Okay. Because the better small forward is obviously LeBron.
Yeah.
The better power forward, I would say Draymond Green is a better player than Kevin Love.
I will say I agree, but slightly.
It's just I just see
I feel like Draymond has way more versatility.
Yes,
on both ends of the floor than Caleb.
in every aspect of the game he's impacting.
Yeah.
But then we talk about the center position. Tristan is better than whatever center they throw out. So okay, I guess you may have a point.
But would
there.
you rather have a guy who is a master at none and a jack of all trades, or would you have because Kevin Love, you know what you're going to get.
And what's
Draymond
that?
Green,
You know what you're going to get every
You know
night.
what you're gonna get. He's gonna
I
put
don't-
his heart on that floor.
is that all? That's not always enough.
It's proven to be enough.
It's proven.
He has 2
Sometimes.
rings.
He does have 2 rings.
But-
Kevin Love has 1 ring.
What is Kevin Love a master at?
Stretching the floor and rebounding.
Draymond Green does both of those.
No, he doesn't. Not consistent. Draymond Green has very, 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 very many games where he has like 8-9 points.
Yeah, but look at what he also does. He puts the ball on the floor. He creates shots for Steph and Clay all the time.
With the 8 or 9 points, he may have 8 or 9 rebounds, 7 assists,
3 blocks, 3 steals. Like he's putting everything out there.
He's no slouch. He's definitely good, but I mean, he's better than Kevin Love. But I'm just saying their margin isn't large. I think LeBron is like. I would much rather have LeBron than Kevin Durant. And Kevin Durant is a fabulous player, but LeBron is a lot better to me when it comes to those two being compared to each other. Kevin Love and Draymond. Draymond is here, and Kevin Love is very.
I feel you.
It's not
I feel
that
you.
far
Yeah,
away.
it's not like we're talking about all-star bench player.
Exactly,
They're both
exactly.
really really good.
I definitely give the
Yeah, I see
nod
what you
to
mean.
Draymond.
Right, okay, I see what you mean.
On the nights that Kevin Love doesn't put up those big numbers, what else do you get from him?
He's always going to rebound. I remember in the finals, he had like a 4.15 rebounding game. And he's always going to be the threat to stretch the floor.
Is he gonna be a threat defensively?
No, not at all. But that's what you have guys like Tristan Thompson for, to do the dirty work. Just like you have, guys on the Golden State Warriors to stretch the floor when Draymond's shot isn't going.
We can go on to the Dallas Mavericks. One of the more boring teams. Expected to win 35 games. I'll start it off with I'll go over. And there's no real reason. They got a boring team. Harrison Barnes had a good season last year. Maybe he takes the next step. They got Dennis Smith Jr., which I'm excited to watch. He's going to start off game 1 as their PG. And Dirk, even though Dirk has fallen off, obviously, from his MVP type days, he's still a hell of a player. How about you, Mike?
How many games they supposed to win?
35, around 35.
I say that's too much. I don't expect them to be that good. There's no real reason behind it. They're in the West as well, so I don't see them winning that many games.
Respect it. How about you, P?
I think they're going to be over. They're boring, but at the same time, they're good. They're a good boring. Dennis Smith Jr. brings the excitement. Seth Curry. I love Seth Curry. Harrison Barnes. It's time for him to make that next step, and I think it's the perfect situation for him. Dirk is always, for some reason, Dirk he gets it done. I don't know what's with that guy, but I can always rely on him. But the sleeper for me is Nerlens Noel. He's a very good rim protector. With a team that can stretch the floor so well with Dirk and Seth shooting ability, it's going to create a lot of opportunities for Dennis Smith to give him a lot of lobs while attacking. So it's good. Then they have a solid bench: Wesley Matthews, Dwight Powell. So we'll see.
DMills?
I'll say 36 rounds is about right.
About right. I feel you. Next team. I think it's going to be one of the more exciting teams to watch. Denver Nuggets, projected to win 45 games. I'm going over with 49. 49. The addition of Paul Millsap is going to be so nice to their offense and defense. Right now, Nikola Jokic had one hell of a season, but we know defensively he needs help. And Paul Millsap is one of those players that actually can pretty much guard everybody on the court. Very underrated defender there. All-star. And then hopefully guys like Jamal Murray have a bigger role. Guys like Gary Harris actually come to play more. I mean, he had a good season, but maybe he takes the next step. The big hole for their team, in my eyes, is their point guard position. Moutier has not done anything. Jameer Nelson was starting at the end of the season when they were trying to make the playoffs. So if they can figure something out at the point guard position, maybe make a trade through the season, because they got so many young assets that they don't really need. Mm-hmm. So I'm going over still. How about you, DMills?
I like their team so much. I've been a Nuggets fan since AI and Melo was there. So, Jokic is amazing. I feel like since they put him in the when they put him in that starting lineup, officially, and they start putting Nurkic on the bench, I feel like their team actually got better.
They became the number 2 offense in the league.
Yes, because Jokic brings that playmaking ability and that scoring ability. So I feel like him and Paul Millsap are going to complement each other really well. And then with Jamal Murray, he's going to prove himself this year. I feel like he's going to have a really good year. And then, like you said, the point guard position is really where they're really hurting at. But I feel like with Jokic and Millsap, they're going to win at least 50 games.
Okay. Big take. You, Pierre?
How many were they
projected to win? 45.
I wrote down under. So I think, I am going to go under just because they have to bank on so much. I like the Paul Millsap and Jokic combination. Reminds me of Millsap and Horford a little bit. It's just so weird because Jokic, he can facilitate, and I believe that they can just put a lineup out like Murray, Gary Harris, Wilson Chandler, Millsap, and Jokic can do the facilitating. They don't really need a point guard. But at the same time, you always want a point guard out there. So I don't know. I'm going to go under. Just because they're young and experienced. I don't know. Moutier is definitely not the answer.
Mike?
I'd say I'm going on. I don't think they're going to win 45. It might be a possibility. It really depends. You know what you're going to get from Paul Millsap and Jokic. Jamal Murray, you're putting a lot on your young players, so you don't really know what to expect from them. Did they sell Wilson Chandler?
Wilson Chandler will be their starter because Gallinari is in there.
Gallinari left, so that was basically one of their main scorers. So you got to look who's going to step up. Wilson Chandler is definitely going to jack up shots.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to look for you got to see what your young players are going to contribute.
Right. How about this? Who says no to this trade? Because they need a point guard. A team that I said earlier may be looking to get rid of a point guard, Jeremy Lin. So they make a deal. At this point, Brooklyn, they're taking anything young or any future asset. So you can probably get Jeremy Lin, who I'm pretty sure is on a 1-year deal, so his value's not that great. Throw them Juancho Hernan-Gomez, who I really like, and maybe a protected first rounder. And Kenneth Faried to make the salaries match up.
They're going to just throw away Kenneth Faried?
He's garbage. He's garbage.
He's their energy player, though.
He's
garbage.
They
don't
need
him. Garbage. Modern NBA, terrible. 20 years ago, be good power forward.
He'd be Dennis Rodman in style, not in production.
I got one better.
Mm-hmm.
That name I threw out there earlier.
Kemba Walker.
You give them anything except Jokic and Millsap.
Mm-hmm.
whatever they want. If you can put out Kemba Walker, Millsap, and Jokic,
Oh yeah.
and you
That's
still
tough.
you might still have Gary. If you can give them Jamal, I would say, listen, pick from Jamal Murray.
Jamal
Gary
Murray's
Harris.
valuable, so yeah, I can see them.
Pick one of those. We'll give you a first round. Give you Moutier, and we'll give you Fareed. Hell, if you want to, we give you Will Barton.
No. I think that's a key piece to their bench.
That's a young
I
person.
like him, but to get Kemba Walker, you have that's a lot to give up. But I'm not saying you give up all of those names. I'm saying you have to pick a combination of those. Those are guys I will be willing to give up to hold on to Millsap and Jokic to get Kemba Walker.
Yeah,
Man,
but
that
are you
would be
saying,
tough.
are they keeping? Is this just like a pick? Like they're just getting to choose who they get to
Yeah,
take?
out of these players, you pick Gary Harris, a combination of Gary Harris, Jamal Murray, Will Barton, Kenneth Fareed, Emmanuel Moutier. And you get a pick. You pick two of those players, depending on who you pick, 2 or 3 with the first round pick. You know, say they take Jamal Murray, Fareed, and a first round pick, and Moutier. We'll give Moutier too.
Yeah, because they don't really need Moutier.
So you got Kemba Walker, Gary Harris, Wilson Chandler, Paul Millsap, and Jokic. You still have off the bench Mason Plumlee, Will Barton.
You might have just did something, bro. I'm liking this
like
for
that.
both teams.
For
I'm
both
liking
teams.
that. Oh my god.
Moutier and Malik Monk in the backcourt. Hopefully Malik Monk can restart, his career. They get an additional pick.
That's some.
Hey, that's
You may want to call up them people to make this happen because that's something both teams. That's taken to trying to figure out maybe halfway through the season Charlotte's not performing the way they want, so then they make that deal. That's not something
That's
they do
definitely
today.
a trade deadline type deal.
Yeah, right, exactly. That's not something you do today. But okay, we'll move on to the next team, being the Detroit Pistons. Another one of those teams I don't really. They're projected to win 38. I'm gonna go over. I'm gonna go over with this one. With the expectation that actual Reggie Jackson actually plays well too, because last season was a bad year. It was a bad year for him, but I do think that Drummond is still a really good player. I like Luke Kennard. I don't know how big of a player he's going to be in their offense today, but I like Luke Kennard. And now they got Avery Bradley.
Big.
Who want to go next?
I don't
I'll
know.
go. All I gotta say is that I think that's about right. I don't really have much to say about the Pistons. I don't really follow them. That's not me.
It's one of those teams where you're just like, oh, okay, the Pistons are playing. I'm not gonna watch it, depending on who they're going against.
Yeah.
Pistons versus Warriors, maybe you watch because the Warriors, but you're not watching the Pistons for the Pistons.
Detroit, I say that's about right. And then again, they're still in the East, so as long as you have some reliable people that you can put on the floor, Andre Drummond is being that one. Avery Bradley's been very good in his past recent years. So with the talent they have and some maybe players, and they should be able to win at least above more than 35 games.
I agree. I got them over. The key name I got is Henry Ellison.
Okay.
I want to see him get acclimated into the offense more and be the stretch four to complement Drummond. But I think they got a good team. They still won over 30 games last year with a very bad year. Reggie Jackson, that situation was terrible. Tobias Harris, I just need more production from Tobias Harris. I'm just very disappointed in his entire career. I just thought he'd be a lot better. Avery Bradley is an extremely, very underrated pickup. I can't believe that Boston gave him up that easily. I know they were going to have to pay him, but he's so good, I would have played the year out and said, we just have to deal with that when it comes.
I feel like now, if they knew that they were going to trade Isaiah Thomas, they would have kept Avery Bradley. Because the reason they traded Avery Bradley is because they needed to pay one or the other. They couldn't pay both.
Exactly.
But now they had to worry about
Would
that.
have been such a good compliment.
My God, Kyrie Irving and Avery Bradley, that would have been deadly. Okay, next team. The Golden State Warriors, projected to win 67, and I'm going, that's way too low. I'm saying that's way too low. I'm saying they win 70 games this season. Easily 70 games this season. This is the best team in the league by far, especially since who's their competitor? The Cavs. We don't know if Isaiah Thomas is going to be there. The Spurs, they always at the top, but if you just look at their roster, maybe this year they're not, a real contender. I'm going over MVP players next. How about you, Mike?
To be honest, I don't know what to say about them. I'm pretty sure they're gonna win over 70 games, and that's just because nobody First of all, they have the defense to defend almost anybody. They could switch it with the length of Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant. Draymond can guard anybody on basically in the NBA, except for maybe like some legit 7-footers. But the way they play defense, they play lockdown defense, and nobody's gonna outscore them. Nobody's gonna outscore them. So it's the way that their defense and offense is set up. I just don't see them losing much.
I'm about to say something very controversial.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
They will win 70 games, and they won't go to the finals.
What team? Okay, who's knocking them out? Let me hear. Who do you have going to the finals? Actually,
I don't have my set teams yet, but it's so much in the West that can drain them. I hope they go for the 70. I hope they do that again. They shouldn't. They should just, you know what I mean, take it easy, go through it, let it be a blur, take the San Antonio Spurs, LeBron-esque route, and just, you know what I mean, just play the season out and get ready for the playoffs because you're going to dominate. But Houston is better. San Antonio is a team that I felt could have gotten them last year. Oklahoma City is forgotten about. I don't know why people like Paul George is no slouch, but that's my team, Oklahoma City. Okay. But I feel like if they can run into a Houston, and Houston could give them a loss or two, they could run into San Antonio. San Antonio could give them a loss. By the time they get to the Eastern Conference Finals and go up against a team like OKC, I got OKC though. OKC has Steven Adams, a legit big. Russell Westbrook has that chip on the shoulder. We're gonna wait to get to OKC to say.
I see what you mean. You're not saying that they're the best team in the league, but you're saying that they're gonna go against so many matchups that's gonna be hurting.
If they chase the 70, I have them
just like a couple years ago when
exactly.
Okay,
if they
I feel
just
you.
Work through,
okay, I can see it. Okay. I can see it. How about you, DMills?
You can't really say how many games they're gonna win.
Right.
You can't. I agree with Mike. You can't really predict what they're gonna do because they're just too good to like really predict exactly what they're gonna do. But I feel like with Pierre, I agree. I feel like they won't. I don't know why. I just feel like they won't make it to the finals again.
You think that's it? You think that the era of domination?
No, it's not that. I just feel like he said, they're gonna have to go through so many obstacles to get there that they're gonna be so worn out that I feel like they're gonna meet up with the Spurs in the conference finals. He wants them to meet OKC. I would love for them to meet the Spurs. Then they got to go against Kawhi.
I'm good with any or. Just put that out there. OKC or San Antonio.
They got to go against Rudy Gay, Kawhi, Aldridge, a healthy Tony Parker maybe. If they get another point guard, I feel like, and then with Danny Green stretching the floor, they got a lot of obstacles to go through. They play the Spurs.
Okay.
They got a lot of matchups.
Getting one big name.
And then Aldridge. Aldridge is also a ridiculous matchup that they could not stop in that finals. And then once Kawhi got hurt, that series just Aldridge couldn't do it all by itself, obviously. Mm-hmm. So it's just
don't forget the biggest name on Spurs team,
Greg Popovich.
Thank you.
Okay, we gonna talk about the Spurs just a little bit later. We can move on to the next team, a team that made a big move this offseason, the Houston Rockets. I'll start it off. They're projected to win 55 games. I'm going over by a lot. I'm saying 60, 62, 63 wins. You got the best shooting guard in the league in James Harden and a top 5 point guard alongside of him and Chris Paul. A lot of people think that this may not work out, but NBA players make things happen. These are two guys that want to win. Chris Paul has been shitted on. I shitted on his entire career for not making it to the conference finals, not winning the ring. I think he's going to let that ego of him having the ball 100% of the time, he's going to get rid of that because he wants to win. And they respect each other's game. They were in the Drew League the other day, a couple weeks ago, and he was arguing with James Harden in the Drew League game. A random pickup game. He wants James Harden to be great. He wants his team to be great. And that's why I think they're going to win 60-plus games this year.
I'll go next. They will win 60 games. Maybe because they have a good team. But Chris Paul, no. Chris Paul is very good. He had a very good career. But as a person and as a teammate, Chris Paul is one of the most selfish players I've ever seen in my life. He's the first ball hog in NBA history. I'm just not a believer. defensively, he's overrated. The Jazz exposed him a bit. I don't know. I like that James Harden was aware enough to say, okay, I got drained out last year from being a point guard, and you know, I could use some help, and Chris Paul would definitely help. But no, they'll probably win 60 games by playoffs. They're not even a serious contender to me.
Wow.
Oh, can I go next?
Yeah, go do your
At the
thing.
beginning of the season, isn't there going to be like a really big adjustment period for both of them? So isn't that going to cause them to fall some games maybe that to where they might not win, like you said, 60 games?
Right,
Is
it could
gonna
happen.
leave them at like that 55.
It
maybe?
could, but I think that they're so talented, it won't even be that big of a deal because, like you said, they're playing in the Drew League now. It's been clips of them playing a ton of basketball outside of the Drew League because I think they really understand that it will be an adjustment, but I don't think it's going to be that much adjustment because Chris Paul, that's my thing. Chris Paul, that's why I call him a pass first ball hog. He loves to pound, pick and roll late in the shot clock, help me get my assist. James Harden likes to, hey, give me my rock, watch out. So, I don't know.
I got to think about it. They also have one of the best offensive-minded coaches in the league.
But
And Mike
defensively, how good would their team be?
Oh, no.
That's why I say they win
good.
60 games because there's Mike D'Antoni.
In the playoffs, it comes down to defense.
Right.
I like
They
what
don't
they
have
tried
that.
to do, too. P.J. Tucker.
Mm-hmm. There's their small forward stopper, the Kawhi Leonards, the Kevin Durant's, the LeBrons. Or the
Yeah.
slower downers. Nobody's stopping those players.
they're
Slow them
out.
down.
Yeah.
So you got him and Trevor Reeves.
Trevor Reeves, yep.
Ryan Anderson is overpaid. but
Overpaid.
Hell, he can shoot the hell out of the ball to stretch the floor. Ken Capella is underrated center. Eric Gordon.
Mm-hmm. EG.
So they'll have a good regular season, but when the playoffs come, they'll fall apart, and Chris Paul will not be in Houston again.
I say they're gonna win just about 60 games, just because of the talent, that backcourt talent. We're gonna see what Chris Paul's gonna have to do. Chris Paul, if you watched him and with the Clippers, usually he just ran pick and rolls, or he just wait for his shooters that he had to come off those down screens and he passed. That's a lot of his assists came from. With the Rockets, if you mention their roster, and except for maybe Eric Gordon and Lou Williams, do they have Lou Williams?
Nope.
No, he's
Except for Eric Gordon, nobody's gonna have a play called for them. So James Harden and Chris Paul are gonna run that team. James Harden's gonna do what he does. Depending on what the defense do, if James Harden's gonna attack, if they're gonna shrink the floor and make them survive on those open jump shots, it's gonna depend on how well they're hitting the three. Chris Paul, you're gonna have to see him. He's not gonna be able to just swing the ball now. He's gonna have to be like a James Harden, and he's gonna have to attack more. So you're really gonna have to see how many points he's gonna put up to help his team be better, along with James Harden.
Okay.
So wait, what is Chris Paul going to do off the ball?
I think he's underrated off the ball. I think he can play off the ball. It's just he never had a backup point guard or a shooting guard next to him that actually handles the ball.
Darren Collison.
Derek Collison's garbage.
What? I think he's pretty
As a
decent.
backup point guard,
Yeah,
Darren
no,
Collison
he's
is
like-
like
he's
And when he was in
ideal
LA?
No, maybe like a Sacramento kind of player.
No, but I mean, like, when I'm saying Chris
in
Paul.
LA. I feel like he wasn't as good because Chris Paul. Chris Paul does not want to play off the
The
ball.
one.
Blake Griffin is one of the best ball handling forwards in the league, and he strived when Chris Paul was hurt.
The best thing he had was Eric Bledsoe back then.
Eric Bledsoe was the
I don't know.
And
starting
he
point
was
guard
pretty
in the
good. Right, he's pretty good before the Chris Paul trade. I don't know. I think he can play well off the ball. In this case, he had no choice. James Harden is going to want the ball. So even if he's bad, he has to adjust.
Do you at least see James Harden accepting the ball? He's going to get the ball regardless. But do you see him just not pounding the ball as much, giving it to Chris Paul and letting him work off the ball to get to his sweet spot instead of having to work himself?
I feel, that can definitely work
I'm
out.
more confident in James Harden because James Harden has done it before in OKC.
I'll play it off.
I've
okay.
never seen Chris Paul in my life play off the ball.
Never.
Not in Wake Forest, not in New Orleans. I've never seen it. So
Where is his sweet spot at that he's coming at getting to off these screens?
You talking about James Harden?
No, Chris Paul.
Oh,
No, I'm
the
talking about
elbow
James
jumpers.
Harden.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, I was like, these elbow jumpers. That's stuff that he usually created off the dribble.
Right.
That's nothing he really like came
Can
off
work
screen.
too, yeah.
Yeah.
With James Harden, there's no sweet spot.
Yeah, he
James
can-
Harden got that ball every place.
If he gets the ball close enough to the bed, he's going to get
It's
it.
over with.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you have James Harden, he's already done it, but if you can take some pressure off of him, and maybe he doesn't get as tired as he would constantly pounding the ball, And maybe James Harden might put up almost close to 40.
A game?
Not a game, but I mean,
Just
he's
like
going to consist. Yeah, he's going to
yeah.
have those games more.
Well, yeah.
Next team, Indiana Pacers. Team that made a big move, traded their star player, their franchise player for nothing. They're projected to win 31 games. I'm going to go under on this one just because they really just don't have pieces. Miles Turner's going to have a good year, hopefully, but there's nothing really there to take the pressure off of him. Victor Oladipo is an okay starter. I'm going under at maybe like 28. So I'm guessing they're like a bottom 3 team in the Eastern Conference. Mike?
I'd say under. I don't see them winning around. I see them winning around 25 games. There's no eyebrow raises there, except for maybe Miles Turner. So I don't see them doing much.
I say under. They just have to rely on too much. Victor Oladipo would have to have this breakout year we all been waiting for. Darren Collison is their starting point guard. Sabonis. Skip him with like. I don't know. They did it to themselves, though. They tried to put together a contending team in one off season. They fired Frank Vogel. They gave up way too early on the Indiana Pacers team with Paul George, David West, George Hill, Lance Stevenson.
That was such a nice team.
And then so I mean, they did it to themselves. Larry Bird is gone. That tells you everything. He don't even want to be a part of that shit because that's exactly what that is. That's just a shit ass.
That team
situation.
took Miami to 7, right? Took them to 7.
Plenty of times.
Yeah, it took 7, 6.
That was a tough team.
And it breaks my heart, but I'm going to get to that when we get to OKC.
Okay. All right.
That's why yeah.
DMills, is 31 too high or too low?
Accurate.
Feel you. Next team, LA Clippers. Also, a lot of these teams, there are a lot of different players on different teams this year. This is a great offseason. Clippers projected to win 43. I'm going over. I like their team a lot. They got Milos being there. I don't know if they're going to start P-Bev or Milos, but Milos, from everything I've seen, he is the best passer. He will probably be the best passer in the league next year, as far as like vision. He sees everything before it unfolds.
Don't forget about the other guy in LA.
Next, I like Patrick Beverley a lot. Gallinari, hopefully he'll be ready before the season, but I'm not sure because he broke his hand. Blake Griffin has to stay healthy, and he has to be that MVP Blake Griffin that we almost got.
Thank you. That was my next controversial thing. He is, if healthy, my MVP pick. Him or John Wall.
Okay. I say we need him to play like
or
that.
John Wall. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And DJ, of course, is going to do his thing on the glass defensively and getting those lobs from Milos. So I'm going over. What about you, Mike?
That's about right. This is going to be the old school team. They're going to pound the ball down low with Blake Griffin. Blake Griffin's going to have to open. It all depends on what Blake Griffin's going to do. They got some young guards that are definitely going to run pick and rolls with him and DJ, but Blake Griffin's going to have to be, like you said, that MVP player. But he can do it.
I think he will be an MVP player if he's healthy. I feel like this is the best team that they've put together around him since he's been there. Patrick Beverley is a defensive point guard who can shoot off the ball. He's not the best off-ball shooter, but he can knock down a 3 or 2. Lou Williams is a cooker. You know, that's self-explanatory. We don't have to speak on him. Danilo Gallinari, stretch the floor. And then you got DJ for the lot. I mean, hey, I put the ball in Blake's hands, and I say, Blake, be that point forward and take us to the land. I think he can do it. That bench, though.
You don't believe in your boy Austin no more? Austin Rivers?
I mean, even if I did believe in him, you have Austin and Milos, and I mean, what else is there? I don't believe in Brandon Dawson. I don't believe in Diamond Stone.
Wilson, Wesley Johnson still there.
I thought he was playing overseas because I just knew damn well he wasn't still in the NBA.
Yeah, he's garbage. Yeah, that bench. But I think they did a good job rebuilding on the fly. They got something for a guy that was just going to walk anyway.
And they finally took that position out of Doc's hand.
Yes,
just a strictly
that
coach.
is probably the best thing they've done this offseason.
So they paid Blake the big money, so now Blake got to come up and be the MVP. He's definitely one of my top choices. I'm not saying he will be,
right?
But he's out of my 3 choices, he's one of my guys. Preseason pick.
DMills, too high, too low?
At 2 games above 500 is about right. They're not gonna be like a surprising team. They're going to be just like middle of the pack. They're not gonna, nothing too special with them.
Okay. Other team in LA. LA Lakers projected to win 33 games this season.
I'm so controversial.
We'll start off with you, and I'll tell you what I think.
LA Lakers will make the playoffs this year.
Oh my God! All right, LeVar.
Lonzo Ball. You know what? I wrote down. They won't make it, but they'll be very good.
Okay.
I was just joking. They won't make it. Yesterday I was thinking while I was getting ready for the podcast, like, oh man, Lakers can make it. But when you write down the Western Conference team, there's just too many. But they'll be 10 times better than they were last year. To me, their biggest issue is they have to do something with Julius Randle. He's not a Laker. He needs to go. For some reason, he belongs in Orlando. He's like a Magic player. They have a bunch of tweeners. Let him go over there or something. But they got to get rid of him and get a real stretch four for Lonzo. He's thrived with a stretch four since I've seen him play basketball from high school to college. So I don't see why it would change. Even in summer league, he had Kyle Kuzma, and he, thrived with him. Brook Lopez and KCP are very underrated pickups for a young team like them, and I expect Brandon Ingram to have the year that people were trying to say Jaylen Brown is going to have. I think he can make a big jump. Maybe not all-star because the West is so packed with wing players, but he will definitely have a year where he's much better than he was last year because he was disappointing, and that's Luke Walton's fault. But,
How about you, Mike? 33. Too high, too low.
Hey, I'm a Lakers fan. I'm going to be biased here. I say we go 35 this year. I mean, I like what we're doing. I like what we're doing. We got a lot of young people that's making progress. Lonzo Ball, in my opinion, the way he's playing, I think he's just going to come in like it's his second or third year.
I agree. It's a bad man.
I really like Julius Randle. I like those versatility players, but like you said, they might need to move him, see if they get another core piece that could help them, or their young people. Brook Lopez, he's been playing well on these bum teams. I mean, he's got the ability to hit the three now. So I really like that. He's a big guy. As long as he could play with more effort on at least rebounding defensively, he could help them become a defensive team themselves. I just like how we preparing ourselves for the future. Hopefully we can get a big name, a Russell Westbrook, if possible, a Paul George, if possible, a LeBron James. There's a lot of stuff that could happen that could tremendously benefit.
You sound like a Lakers fan.
Hey,
you just named 4 of the best players in the league.
I'm a believer.
Yeah,
who don't want to be in LA?
Only a Lakers. This how you know he's a Lakers fan, and it's okay because I'm the same way with my Knicks. But only a Laker fan would praise the hell out of Alonzo Ball, then immediately go to maybe we'll get Russell Westbrook because there's no way you should want Russell.
Alonzo played it too.
I don't know.
Alonzo played it too.
He can, but I would rather. No, as a matter of fact, no, I know he can't because he doesn't want to. His pops even said like Lonzo has no interest in being a shooting guard. So,
do y'all want y'all team to be good? Because
yes.
Y'all don't have the only way y'all keep y'all pick is if it's number 1. Do y'all care about that?
I'm not a Lakers fan.
I'm sorry,
I'm a Lonzo Ball fan.
Oh, okay. Do you care about that? Or are you banking so much on the free agents coming in that you don't care if you can get the number 1 pick?
Hey, if we play well, there's a lot of names that might look at that LA team and say, you know what? I might want to play there. And if they can get those big names with a progressing team, it's just a good destination.
No matter how good they play, people are going to want to come. Paul George.
But they've been having opportunity, though. They've been taking interviews from these top players of free agency. Nobody has come yet.
Because they're waiting on that big name to go first. It always starts with one guy and then they go. And Lonzo Ball, people, trust me, when people see how Lonzo Ball is playing, they won't even think about LeVar. And once one person goes, like, just say Paul George goes or LeBron goes, I'm more leaning on Paul George. Yeah, people will follow.
Okay.
People will follow.
I don't know if you got your too high, too low in DMills.
I think that's too low. I think they'll win. I think they'll be 41-41.
Whoa, that's a take. That's a take.
I like that. I'm in the 38, 37 range.
I think with that young talent, they can definitely steal games like easily, especially against the lower tier teams. I feel like compared to the lower tier teams, they're better than majority all of them. So they can win those games, and then I'm pretty sure they can come out and be competitive against the good teams.
My turn.
I'm very interested to see what you got to say.
I'm gonna go under, but not by much. I'm not saying they're gonna be 20. 33 was what they projected. I'm guessing 31, 32. And it's nothing to do with the young talent. I like KCP a lot. I like Lonzo Ball a lot.
We didn't even mention Jordan Clarkson. I'm sorry.
He's a backup.
But he could be a starter easily.
Yeah, they said they definitely want him. He's going to be like a Jamal Crawford.
They just chose to put him on the bench.
I'm not going to lie.
Start.
The inner Bull fan in me from being in Chicago, him and Levine, oh my God.
I wanted to see Jordan Clarkson in a Bulls jersey.
I'm going to let you finish, though.
I don't believe in them defensively. I don't believe in them on the glass because you got Brook Lopez as your starting center who averages 3 rebounds a game at 7 foot.
Lonzo is a guy that can average 7 rebounds as a point guard.
But he's not banging down low with them. It will be similar to what Russell Westbrook did. Russell Westbrook, he wasn't banging down there to get his 10 rebounds a game, but he got him.
You're
he got him. But that's not saying much about the team. Again, I like their young potential, but they're still super young. 41, I think, is outrageous.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I'm in the 37, 38 range, but if they did get 41, I wouldn't be like, oh my God.
Right. It will mostly depend on how good Lonzo just comes out the gate.
I agree with Mike. I'm expecting him to look like a second or third player. I'm expecting that type of thing from him.
Next team, Memphis Grizzlies. One of those teams that always been in the middle of the pack, projected to win 37 games. I'll start off with it and say that's about right. They're just a team that is average. They lost what I think was their heart of that team, though, with in the weed, with Zach Randolph being gone. It's just one of those teams I'm like, about. Marc Gasol, good player. I wouldn't be surprised if he got traded this year to a team that need a big man because they're in that place where they gave Mike Conley this huge contract. Marc Gasol is still under a nice contract. And if they want to go to the future, because these two players are winning a championship together. And I'm sure eventually they'll figure it out and be like, okay, let's move one of them. And I think Marc Gasol is the guy that most teams will want over Mike Conley because of how big that contract is and that he still has 4 years on it. So I'm going about right. How about you, Mike?
I don't really have much to say about the team. I'd say that may be a little bit too high. They might try to move. They're definitely going to move because they don't really have that many. They're not going to win, 50 games. They're not. I mean, there's no point in tanking for them unless they do make these big moves. But as long as they got those pieces, they're just going to play games and they're going to try to win. But there's no. I mean, what are they playing for?
Okay.
Y'all know what I've been doing this podcast. I've been putting my GM hat on. I'm gonna do it again.
Okay.
Earlier you mentioned Jeremy Lin.
Mm-hmm.
Then I mentioned Kemba.
Right.
Mike Conley is another name for the Denver Nuggets. I would prefer Kemba because his style is a little bit better than, but that's another name. A team that I would really want to see go after Mike Conley, the Phoenix Suns. I would love to see them just really, really get a point guard, put him next to Devin Booker, and just go that way. But yeah, they gotta trade Mike Conley. I know that contract is big, but it's where the NBA is going. Marc Gasol, I feel like you can get a lot from Marc Gasol. I feel like, man, if Boston could get Marc Gasol and move Horford to the 4, I would damn near give up Jaylen Brown for Marc Gasol.
Okay.
But I really want to see Chandler Parsons be successful because they gave him a lot of damn money. So I want him to earn some of that money. I'm a fan of Chandler Parsons, but that contract's very outrageous. How many are they supposed to win?
37? 37.
I want to say over because of the history, and they always find a way to win. But like Tony Allen isn't re-signed yet. JaMychal Green isn't re-signed. I'm going to go under.
DMills?
Under.
Hey, sometimes you don't even need a reason.
Yeah. True.
And it's one of those things. It's a boring team anyway.
So boring.
Miami Heat projected to win 43 games. That'll put them over 500. Last year, they were close to making the playoffs after that big push after December, where they basically
became one of the best teams.
Yes, basically. This is another team where I'm just like, that seems about right. That seems about right. And the main reason for that is I believe in Dragic. I believe in Waiters Island. I like Hassan Whiteside. It's just another one of those teams that I'm not going to tune in to watch them play like that, you know? But I still think they have actual talent on their team. So I'll say 43 is about right. Mike?
That's about right. They're in the East. They got a little bit of talent, and I believe in Hassan Whiteside. Goran Dragic can definitely run, and he's not the best leader, but he could definitely operate the team. He's got some experience in the NBA, and I guess we're gonna see what Deion Waiters brings to the table.
Unfortunately, it's about right. I would love to see them be much better. I feel like if they had Chris Bosh, they would be a lot better, but that's unfortunate. That's about all. But shout out to Deion Waiters too. You know, he had the back to school drive for the kids yesterday, I believe, giving backpacks and haircuts and games and food to them. You know what I'm saying? We got to shout out on players do good things.
Yeah, stuff like that deserve to be recognized. How about you, DMills?
43 wins is pretty accurate. They got enough talent to win in the East at least.
I like Kelly Olynyk to pick up too.
Yeah. I don't like so much some of the contracts they gave out this year. James Johnson, 4-year deal. He's already 30. So, I mean, he had a good season. He had the best season of his career.
I didn't even realize that they gave him
4 years. I think it was like $30 million. So it's not a lot of money. It's just a long deal. And that really puts into question what their plan is. Are they trying to win now, or are they waiting? It's confusion. But I still think they got a nice roster. Milwaukee Bucks. Young up-and-coming team projected to win 47 games. Got a guy like Giannis, who Kobe said he wants to win MVP. Will he make that step to make the MVP? I'm going to say that he has the potential to do this. He is a top 5 player in my MVP listing this year. And because of that, I think that the 47 is nice. I'm going to go 49 in hopes that Thon Maker becomes the player or more than what he did last year. He was okay last year.
Just a reminder, Jabari Parker's out to All-Star break, just in case if you forgot.
No way. He had his injury around. It's going to take him 12 months to rehabilitate?
Yes, that's what I read yesterday.
Okay, then maybe I'll take that back then. I was under the assumption that he'll maybe back maybe December-ish. But okay, who's that backup? I guess they're going to start Moose, Greg Monroe, and Thon Maker. Okay, then in that case, I'll go under. If Jabari Parker's not going to be there, I'm going under. How about you, Mike?
I'm starting to lie. I didn't like Giannis Antetokounmpo at first, but now he's just becoming a person that you got to love to watch. You got to love his athleticism, his ability to be at that height and do the things he does. It's kind of controversial, but I just need to see him improve his jump shot. I can't see him always getting past whoever he does. Like, you see a lot of his stuff in transition, but if he adds somewhat of I have to step up and guard that guy, he could be very good as a way better playmaker than he already is, and I think that's the biggest step. One thing I want to say, I hope they're probably one of the better defensive teams in the East with just the length, with their length. That's where they need to hang. If they hang their hat there, they could be that Memphis Grizzlies grindhouse type of team that even if they're struggling offensively, as they might do some nights, they're going to be in those games.
Okay.
Greek Freak is amazing. I just wish he had a jump shot. I feel like he's a tad bit overrated for that reason. He can do a lot, though. It wouldn't surprise me if he had a big leap, but I don't know. He's just right there. He's been right there for quite a while to me. Last year it wasn't surprising. I was expecting that the year before. But how many wins?
They're projected to win 47.
Yeah, I'm going to go under. No Jabari. Kevin Middleton is overrated to me. No legit point guard. Brogdon isn't really all that to me as well. I like Greg Monroe and Thon Maker, though. But, yeah, it's just a bunch of overrated guys to me.
All right, so they say 47. I say 47. I think Giannis is going to be able to carry them to those wins. Brogdon and Chris Middleton's going to bring that shooting that they missed. Chris Middleton sat out most of the season last year. Didn't have him at all. So pretty much most of the shooting was coming from Brogdon. So I feel like Jason Kidd is going to be able to put something together to where they are able to make that push and use the talent that they have to get those 47 wins. And then when Jabari Parker comes back, that adds another playmaker and another score for them. So I don't think 47 is like too much.
Okay. Minnesota Timberwolves made a big move this offseason. They're projected to win 48 games, a huge leap from what they were last year. I think this is right. Maybe somebody here thinks they win 50-plus games, but I personally don't think that their spacing and it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Really love Karl Anthony Towns. Obviously, I love Jimmy Butler as a Bulls fan. Like Wiggins. Like they have a team that you look at and be like, wow, okay, this can work out, but maybe it doesn't work out, at least this first season, because they picked up Todd's rather than the guy who I thought they should have got, which is Patrick Patterson. Because at least Patrick Patterson could sit on the perimeter and give Wiggins and give Butler a chance to actually make plays. But now if they're going to start Todd's or even Gorgie Dang, those are players that's going to be clogging the hole. So I'm thinking that this may be about right.
I'm saying about 45. Just with the talent and the young people they have, they might come out surprising and maybe get 50. But other than that, they just got to work over these years, get some chemistry going, add some key pieces. But they're definitely a future team.
Very overrated team to me. I see a lot of people talking about them. I have them just there or right under. Their best three-point shooter on the starting five is their center, and that's just terrible. I mean, the bench. We talking about Shabazz Muhammad,
Jamal Crawford, and Todd.
Todd isn't necessarily a three-point shooter. Jamal Crawford, I look at him as a scorer, not necessarily a shooter. So they just really have no lack of shooting in a pace and space NBA game that we see today. They lack it, but defensively, they're gonna be a problem defensively.
DMills?
I say they'll win 50 games.
I had a feeling you would be the guy. Yeah, I had the feeling you were going to be the guy to say that.
I see it because, like, I feel like they got Jimmy. Jimmy single-handedly could win you a game a lot of nights. Then you got Karl Anthony Towns, Jeff Teague. Like, their team has a lot of talent on it. And then the defensive part, defense wins games in the NBA. So
who's the best player on their team to you?
Jimmy Butler.
Some people can argue Cat.
Yeah, I say Cat, but
you can argue it, but
Jimmy Butler has proven it.
Yes, Jimmy Butler has proven that he can win games single-handedly by himself. Has Karl Anthony Towns proven that?
How many years has Karl Anthony Towns been in the league? Compare their numbers.
Yeah, but Jimmy didn't do that at first. Jimmy had to get to that part.
Exactly. So can you give Karl Anthony Towns time to do that?
But he had the opportunity way before Jimmy did. Jimmy had to come off the bench. He didn't really start becoming that star until the last 3 years.
Exactly. So you can't say that Karl Anthony Towns is improving when he's had 2 years.
Yeah, but he's
when it's all said and done, I think Karl Anthony Towns will be a better player when their career's over. But at this moment, Jimmy is the better player.
I think Karl Anthony Towns is making that jump this year right now out the gate. I think he'll be that better player.
So if that's the case, why can't they win 50 games? They got two very good players.
Because they don't have the things around them to make their best players the best players in the league. They literally have no spacing at all.
Transition.
Who is their main? Jimmy Butler is obviously that guy. Who is their main ball handler?
Jeff Teague.
Teague.
But do you want to have Jimmy Butler? It depends. They have so many. Jimmy Butler is obviously their best guard. What do you expect Andrew Wiggins to do? How effective is he off the ball?
I expect him to not be what we think. I think Jimmy Butler will get in the way of that, and I think Andrew Wiggins is going to be traded. Maybe not this year, but eventually. I don't think Andrew Wiggins is going to be a Timberwolf for long. They've been holding out on a contract as well. I would have traded him for Kyrie. I feel like if we would have got Kyrie, if Kyrie is the starting point guard on that team, then we could talk about 50 wins. But they're just overrated to me right now.
I think Jimmy's willing to let Andrew Wiggins do what he wants to do in order to win. I feel like in the fourth quarter, maybe Jimmy would take over that game easily.
I think you give too much credit to Jimmy Butler, but okay.
Hey, he's proven that he's a closer.
How? He's definitely proven. If you watch him play in a Bulls uniform, he will literally get the ball and he even if it's a pick and roll, if he's at that shooting guard spot, He will.
Jimmy
outmuscle
Butler
a
has
lot of-
closed games, but is he a closer? Is that what you label him as?
Yes,
Yes.
I would say he's a closer.
would
He's
say-
definitely their top guy. Who
No,
else is going to
No,
be?
he's their top guy, but just because you're a top guy does not make you a closer.
How isn't he a closer?
Because I just don't see him as a closer. I mean, he's closed games, but a closer? Kyrie is a closer.
I think Jimmy
Kobe
Butler.
Bryant was a closer. Kevin Durant, a closer.
You can't compare Jimmy to Kobe right now. Come on now.
My point.
I'm
What
just
does
saying,
that have to do with anything?
Yeah,
I can compare Kyrie
You're
to Kobe
literally
right now.
no one can sit here and say that Kobe was probably one of the best closers ever.
I'm not.
Why would you even compare Jimmy to
because
him?
that when I think of closer, that's what I think of. I think Kobe Bryant.
But-
There's no such thing as an elite closer and a little. You're either a closer or you're not.
Yeah, but Kobe is on a whole nother level.
Jimmy Butler is a great two-way player. That's what I label him as. I don't label him as a closer. And that's
He can
that's simple.
close out. He can close out games. on
Has
both
he
ends
closed
of the
out
floor.
games?
He can do it on
Yes.
both ends of the floor, though.
I just said that he's a two-way player.
Yeah,
at the end of the game, Jimmy Butler's going to have the ball in his hands.
I understand that.
He's gonna get I think I don't know the exact stats, but I know he's gonna force his way. He gets so many whistles. He's gonna
Dennis
he's,
Schroeder is going to have the ball at the end of the game in his hands. That doesn't make him a closer. Because you're a top player or the go-to guy on the team does not make you a closer.
no,
No,
that's not
that-
what we're saying at all.
Well, that's what he just used as his point. He said at the end of the game, Jimmy Butler will have the ball in his hands.
but you're taking that out of perspective. I'm saying that if the game is closed, they're going to put it in. Not just
Because he's the best go-to guy on the team. I get that.
Not just because he's a ball handler, but because he is the best offense. The person that can get their shot and make the plays. He's the best person. They're not going to give it to Andrew
He
Wiggins.
clearly hit so many game winners for the Bulls. He's closed out games on both ends of the floor for them. I don't know how you can sit here and say he's not a closer. Like, he can't win them a game in the fourth quarter if they really need it.
What I'm telling you is when I think of Jimmy Butler, the first thing that comes to my mind isn't closer. When we talk about the elite and best closers and the closers in the NBA, Jimmy Butler does not come to my mind. He's not. When I think of closer, I think of Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant is a monster.
I think of Kyrie Irving.
No, yes.
Game 7 finals.
Yes.
Bada bing, bada bam.
No, they love though. I hate the people that bring up. I mean, yeah, that was a great, but that he hasn't done that his whole career.
Yeah.
How many times does a player get a chance to hit a Game 7 NBA Finals game-winning shot?
Yes, he had that
What do
opportunity.
you mean he hasn't done it his whole career?
But
I
when
mean-
you say LeBron's block was more impactful than that shot,
I don't know. I mean, that's just
if Iggy makes that layup, don't they win?
not necessarily because he had a 3-point shot.
Yeah.
No, I'm pretty sure that shot was before the block.
No, that shot was after.
I still think that block was more significant.
Listen to what I'm saying. If Andre Iguodala gets that layup, they go up 2. Kyrie hits the 3, they win by 1.
We're going on a tangent. What's the next team?
Next team, all right. New Orleans Pelicans projected to win
Jimmy Butler's
39.
overrated. But go ahead.
Pelicans projected to win 39 games. Personally, I'm going to go under just because, yes, they have the 2 best bigs in the league, but the rest of the team is complete trash, complete ass. Bench, nobody. Starting lineup, they got Drew Holiday. Buddy Hield?
Is he?
He's a
he's a
king.
king? Oh my!
The rest of the team is bad.
The comments going to eat you up for that one.
The rest of the team is bad. And just because of that, I don't see it working out. I wish that we would have got to see these 2 players play when they actually had a legitimate starting 5 around them, but they don't. So I'm going under 35 wins.
I'm gonna show y'all what I think about the Pelicans. I'm gonna take my time to talk about the Pelicans and apologize to Jimmy Butler. I like Jimmy Butler; he's a good player. I don't mean to say he's overrated, but I just don't think he's a closer. And that's what I have to say about the Pelicans.
All right.
Trade DeMarcus Cousins to the Celtics, please. I want to see DeMarcus Cousins over there with the Celtics. Put Al Horford at the 4. Or give him Anthony Davis. Give one of those bigs to the Celtics because y'all not going to use them anymore.
Like, I've seen a lot of edits on Twitter of people putting green on Anthony Davis.
Me too.
They want it. They want it. Well, the Celtics fans want everything.
I think an elite big man for Kyrie. That's all I'm going to say.
Pelicans?
How many games are this supposed to be?
39.
I say 25 games. I don't expect nothing. I don't expect nothing from them except good stat lines from their 2 bigs.
Can respect that.
And one of them is going to get into a Rondo.
Oh, man, forgot
yeah,
that.
I
Rondo
forgot.
was there.
Yeah.
Well, him and DeMarcus, when they were
Wait.
teammates, they actually liked each other.
Yeah, they did because
They
they
actually
both
liked each
assholes.
other, yeah. Yeah. Do we want to move on to the New York Knicks?
Yeah,
You might as well let me start this.
Okay, I'll just say they're projected to win 30 games. We'll let Pierre start off.
For those who don't know, because this podcast is fairly new, I'm a diehard Knicks fan. And when I read that they were projected to win 30 games, I felt like someone spit in my face. That is atrocious. That is disrespectful. That is damn near ignorant to say that you're a basketball fan and project them to win 30 games. And this is why. Phil Jackson is gone. We don't have to fuck with the triangle anymore. Jeff Hornacek, I don't want him to be our coach. I want him fired, and I want to go hire a former Knick great, Mark Jackson. But that's going to take time. But we have a 6'5", long, athletic point guard who can shoot. We have Tim Hardaway Jr., who some say we overpaid.
Definitely overpaid.
But I feel like he will get his chance to prove that he's worth it. We have Carmelo Anthony. Before I even get to him, we have Willie Herman Gomez, who I feel is underrated. He's a walking double-double. He can get you 10 and 10. I hope we can get some production from Joakim Noah in that dumbass contract. Just give us 4 rebounds or something. Courtney Lee, I wish he wasn't on the Knicks, but he's there, so hopefully he can contribute in some way. But I want to see Carmelo Anthony hungry. He was disrespected all last year. He wants out, but he's not in Houston. So I mean, what he has to do right now, I think this is contract year. I believe he's a free agent after this year. I could be wrong. If not this year, next year, he has to show that he's worth it. That he's worth the team going out and trading a lot for. I want to see him play with some kind of accountability. I want this to be an MVP year for Melo. I know he's old. I know it's pretty late, but I want to see him attempt to have a great year. But the number one thing, Kristaps Porzingis will make the biggest jump in the NBA this year. He will go from being a guy that was whatever potential, and he will show from 16, 18 points, he will be a 22-point scorer. I want to see 22, 9, and damn near 2 blocks. And that's that. The Knicks will win more than 30 games. They will sneak their asses into the playoffs.
Whoa.
Yep, they will sneak they will sneak into the playoffs.
Yeah.
They will. If not, they'll be very close, and we will fire. No, we won't make the playoffs because I want to see them fire Hornacek this year.
Under. Next.
Elaborate, please. For me.
That. So
Okay.
you're saying they're not. How many games are they supposed to win? 30?
They're supposed to win 30 games, and I'm saying they will not.
For the people listening and watching, watch him bring up Ron Baker. But okay.
Ron Baker is their starting point guard right now. If you think a Ron Baker led team at the PG spot is getting anywhere near
Why do
30,
you think he's going to start over Frank?
because the main reason why is because they paid Ron Baker like they're gonna start him. They didn't pay him like, okay. Do you remember when they signed him? They signed him basically the first day they could, and they gave him a contract that no other team in the league would have gave him. It wasn't a big contract, but it was like 3 years, $9 million. He was getting the minimum if he went anywhere else. That's like, we need you secure because we need you to run our offense this year.
Who did that?
Some dumb dude that's in Montana right now.
Exactly.
Frank Ntilikina. What do you know about Frank Ntilikina?
I know he's 6'5", long, and can shoot the ball.
Who's also 6'5", long, and can shoot the ball? Michael Carter Williams. Well, okay,
No,
he can't shoot the
he's
ball.
about 6'7".
But I just don't believe that Ntilikina is anything. He's got to show me. He's got to show me. Coming into the season thinking that Ntilikina is actually going to be good, I think that's just like blind optimism because he hasn't played a single second.
This is why I have that optimism. Is because when they drafted Kristaps Porzingis, I was like, what the fuck? Why didn't we get Moutier? And now I'm going to go, as a Knicks fan, and I'm going to support the draft pick. But I am very aware that this could be Dante Exum all over again.
For sure.
I am very aware. But as a Knicks fan who shitted on the Kristaps Porzingis pick, I'm going to be open-eyed and look at his strengths and not his weaknesses and hope for the best. I know we should have got Dennis Smith Jr. We'd be having a whole different conversation if we made that happen. But, Phil Jackson tried his hardest to rip our team apart. So, fuck him.
The only hope is that Kristaps takes the All-Star league, that they get 30. That not the hope that they're going to make the playoffs, but hope that they get 30 is Kristaps jumping.
Do you think he won't?
I'm not saying that.
But
I mean, when I say, okay, what do you average? 16 last year, 17 last year?
What Achilles injury that was him in the triangle?
I like Melo.
Hoodie Melo.
Hoodie Melo's giving them 40 wins, all right. But we don't have Hoodie Melo here. I mean, I just can't see it. I would not be surprised if they did give us 31, 32.
But the playoff shit is just out.
Oh yeah, you off the wall. That's being a fan right there.
Yeah, that's me being biased.
Yeah.
Realistically, I can see 32. Man, I can see anywhere from 29 to 32. But 20 wins? Oh no, they projected to do 30. Okay.
Okay.
I just looked at their roster. In my opinion, they look like a YMCA. I mean, they do have big names. They have Melo, of course, Kristaps, but you think about how their play style is going to be. It sounds like a YMCA. They just sound like they're going to be jacking up shots. I mean, they
just
don't
take with the old Suns team under Jeff Hornacek what they did and put it to the Knicks.
All I'm saying is Carmelo is going to shoot over 30 shots.
We want that. We don't want Jason Randall, whoever the fuck that is, to shoot up shots. So.
How many games is that going to win you, though? I mean, like, he's going to win. He's definitely, that's Carmelo Anthony. You got to have respect for Carmelo. But, like, with the people on his team, are they just going to sit there? I mean, Tim Hardaway Jr., he's going to jack up shots. Nobody on that team is going to make that, like, a play style.
We're not pushing to be contenders. We're just trying to make the playoffs. So jacking up shots can get you a playoff spot in the East. Don't forget that they are in the East.
Who's their sixth man? I'm trying to think. I can't think of who's
Courtney Lee.
They have Courtney. They also have Ramon Sessions.
Okay, great.
I mean,
I like that. I like that.
They have Ramon Sessions. So
and he was signed after Phil Jackson to show you that we wouldn't have fucked with giving him Ron Baker $9 million.
Yeah.
So you're saying you regret that as a Knicks fan?
Phil Jackson did that. I regret anything that Phil Jackson did. Trading J.R. Smith and Iman Shumpert.
He made one good move his entire time.
And that was drafting Kristaps Porzingis.
Exactly.
And I, as a Knicks fan, I'm not sure he did that knowing Kristaps was going to be him. I think he did that because Kristaps had the highest potential to fail, to be a bust. And he took that risk hoping, hey,
I'll look good if I do this.
Fuck Phil Jackson and anybody that loves him.
I like him. I love him as a coach.
I fuck him because what he did to my team, I don't give a fuck about what he did. He want to help the Bulls and the Lakers. They get in New York and want to just shit on us, so fuck him. But hire Mark Jackson. That's a new campaign. Get Mark Jackson.
DMills, did you get your talk
I think
in?
30 wins is accurate.
Okay. Next
I
team.
thought he was gonna hate on us because the Bulls suck, but thank you.
Next team is the OKC Thunder, projected to win 51. Okay, I was not sure. 51 wins. Of course, they brought in Paul George for.
Okay.
What's the Melo picture for? What does that have to do with anything?
He's hungry. But go ahead.
Okay. 51 wins. Paul George added to the team for close to nothing. A player that they overpaid. Victor Oladipo is going to pay $20 million a year for 4 years. He's making more than Paul George. That lets you know.
I want to go last.
You want to go last? Okay. I think that's quite accurate. Finally, how many did they win? They won like maybe 48 games last year around there.
I think that's right on the head.
I don't know what much to say, but saying that 51, 52 games just seems about right for what they have right now.
All right. So first of all, I'm saying this year for OKC, this is, I'd say, in my opinion, this is their do or die year because you got two superstars that, Paul George, it depending on how this year goes, he might leave that city. So this is I feel like they're going to have to move a piece to bring in one more small piece that can help them be a championship contender and maybe better some of these tougher teams out west. This is potential, but if the Bulls do buy out Dwayne Wade may look to go there.
Really?
I think that's one
I didn't think
of the
about that at all, but that would be
Dwayne. I read some articles that it's potential that Dwayne Wade maybe try to get that ring. He might go to San Antonio or OKC, and I'm pretty sure that's either one of those is a pretty good team for him to go to.
that would be.
D-Wade in San Antonio would be really nice.
Mm-hmm. I would prefer him in San Antonio over OKC.
I don't know if I said how many wins is supposed to get.
51.
51.
I say they go 55.
Okay. It's a big leap. Okay. DMills?
The Thunder, I don't know. In the past, I hated the Thunder. I used to always say they were overrated. Y'all know this.
You talking about the young Thunder with Durant, Westbrook, and Harden?
When Harden left, when it was just KD and...
Okay.
And I used to always talk stuff about it.
He used to say that.
True.
He used to say that because he just say how many games are they going to win with just Russell Westbrook and KD just shooting.
Was this also around the time when people were debating who's better, Russell or Derrick Rose? And obviously you were going D Rose. Is that this around the same time? Or this is after that?
No, it was after that.
Oh, okay.
But Russell was better than D Rose.
Yeah,
like right now?
Right now, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like,
Back then, I don't know.
You don't know. If Derrick Rose would fucking blow that man.
they were the same player, man.
Yeah, back then they were the same. I would think.
Back then, it was not the same, but that's a different discussion. We got an MVP and a guy that was second fiddle to Durant. That's not the same, but okay.
I say that they're going to win around 50, 51.
Okay.
They're going to
So you're going under. You're going
No,
under
it's about the same. They projected to win 51.
Oh, I said 55. All right.
Yeah, they're going to be pretty decent, man.
Last.
You say what you need to say?
I said I went first. It's on you now. Your takes.
Viewers and listeners, be prepared for this. This is probably going to be my longest. Oklahoma City. I agree with Mike. Will win about 55 games. This is the year where we see what Russell Westbrook is really about. He came into the league. He came to a team that already had Kevin Durant, so he had no choice to be the second man. He wanted the spotlight. He finally got it, and he showed us triple-double. We haven't seen that in 20-plus years. Great MVP. Get all the awards. Any individual thing you can ask for, Russell got this year. Except he didn't win, which I know it's not individual. Now, Sam Presti does another magical trick and gets him Paul George. And now he has another guy. But this time it's different because Paul George is going into OKC knowing this is Russell Westbrook's team. You know what I'm saying? I think he's going to be a much better player in a winning environment. Yeah, he was very frustrated losing in Indiana. Paul George is a guy that's been winning most of his career. He came into a league came into a team with Danny Granger, Roy Hibbert, Frank Vogel. They was winning right when he came. So, I like Patrick Patterson, who you thought Minnesota should have picked up. He's going to be very, very good for them. I like Andre Robertson. They gave him the perfect contract for a player of his status. Of course, you want more offensively, but I wish they would have signed Rudy Gay. But I like what Mike said. If they can get Dwayne Wade, that would be very, very good. I like McDermott for them. So they got some good things, but I want to see Paul George. He's probably my favorite player in the league. I want to see him get remotivated, and it's probably going to happen when he sees the wins add up and show that he's playing for something again. And I think if they can put it all together, they can be a team that could give OKC some problems. They do need that one. I mean, they can give the Warriors some problems because people don't forget before Paul George was hurt, he was on his way to be passing up Kevin Durant, and that's a fact. He was going head-to-head with LeBron every year, Eastern Conference Finals. He took Indiana Pacers to the #1 seed over the Miami Heat. He was on his way to passing up Kevin Durant.
I don't think they could challenge the Warriors, though. Not at all. The Warriors have way too much talent.
The OKC they have size. They can shoot. Russell Westbrook is going to come with that. If he's playing the Warriors with a team that can beat them, he's going to come with that shit. Paul George is a great guy to offset Durant. Nobody's going to stop him, but, he's going to make Durant play some D, and he's going to give him some problems.
They're probably just going to throw Iggy on him.
Then Robertson is going to, play his defense on Clay, and I don't know. The Warriors are definitely the favorite, but if there's any team I would pick, it would be OKC.
Okay. Moving on to the team in
Billy
Philly.
Donovan, Coach of the Year, too. My bad.
That would be a nice lead. 76ers, 42 wins projected. I'll start off with the under. And this is a very tentative under because mostly I have to see what Ben Simmons is. Once I figure out after that first week or two in the league, maybe I'll go over. But There's so many question marks on this team. Question mark whether or not Joel Embiid can play more than 31 games. Question mark on how good Ben Simmons actually is going to be. We know he's projected to be the best thing since LeBron when he was coming out of high school. But after an injury, after a year of sitting out, who really knows? We have to see what Markelle Fultz is. We got to see a half of him in Summer League before they pulled him after he had the whatever injury that's not serious. But they do have J.J. Redick, who has never missed the playoffs in his career. So that's saying something. Go ahead.
I seen a statement earlier saying that it's time for the process to stop and for them to start doing. I mean, to me, I think the process, they're still in it because, like you said, they still have a whole bunch of what-ifs. Can Jaleel Okafor play at full potential? Can Joel Embiid stay healthy? Can Ben Simmons, I guess, stay healthy after his injury? Can he? How is his shooting going to affect his play style in a more competitive league? There's so many what ifs. I mean, if anything, this year you expect to win as many games as you can. You got the pieces. You just got to have Markelle Fultz learn and the ins and outs of the NBA and how well he can adapt. See what he's going to do with the team around him.
Can we make a quick pause? I literally just got an update that said Larry Markkinen injured his leg in Eurobasket game, had to be helped off the floor.
Who?
Larry Markkinen.
The Bulls rookie.
The Bulls rookie. So that's something we're going to have to keep track of. But, okay, we'll go back to what we were talking about, which is the Philadelphia 76ers.
So we went over the Knicks, my favorite team. Then we went to OKC, Paul George, one of my favorite players. And now we're here with Ben Simmons, who was probably one of my favorite players as well. So I'm a big believer that Ben Simmons, what you said about Lonzo Ball is what I think Ben Simmons will be. He's going to come in, he's going to look like a second or third-year player. I got them over. You know what I mean? They made every right move. They went out and they got Markelle Fultz, who can play one or two, can play off Ben Simmons. They got J.J. Redick to stretch the floor for Ben Simmons. Amir Johnson off the bench for rebounding and muscle. The main focus is can Joel Embiid stay healthy? And I guess we just have to see.
To add to that, one of the reasons why I like those two players, though, I feel like it's an easier adjustment to them because they're not going to shoot the ball as much. So it's always an adjustment scoring in the NBA, but facilitating is always saying, yeah, you're going to get used to the better defensive teams, but facilitating, you're always going to have a better time adjusting to that. It's just going to help them get more confident, which may lead to them putting more points on the board.
I agree.
So Philly, you said they're projected to win
42.
42. So they'll be 42 and 40. Out east, that's possible. With their young talent, very possible. Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid, Okafor, Markelle, the sky's the limit for them.
Dario Sarge,
yeah, I forgot about it. But yeah, why can't they win 42 games out east? I don't know.
I think the main criticism is just the health.
Yeah, it's just that what
they got to watch out for the Bulls, too. You know?
Nah, the Bulls are out of the picture, man.
Michael Porter. That's all the Bulls need to be thinking about.
Next team, Phoenix Suns, projected to win 28, and I think that's about right. It's one of those teams that there are a lot of Phoenix Suns fans, mostly because of Devin Booker. But other than that, trash. So I'm thinking that's about right, maybe even a little under.
How many games?
28.
I feel like that's about it. They don't have no solidification in the league yet. They still young. They're trying to find out who they are. They don't really have an identity. So I guess this is one of those seasons where you're going to see where you at. What do you want to do? Who do you want to try to bring in? Who do you want to move out? Who's going to play well with each other? Yeah, like you said, they definitely do need a point guard. So
GM hat on again. This is a team that has a lot of pieces, but like Mike said, I think that's the biggest thing because I was trying to figure out last night, what's the problem with Phoenix? And like Mike said, they have no identity. And because they have so many pieces and assets, their best bet is to put something together and go get a legit player to complement Devin Booker, of course, their main guy, and create an identity to go to know what to go for. Because I can't tell you what they should trade for. I don't know if they should trade for a point guard, small forward, DeMarcus Cousins. I don't know where they should go, but they need to get something, and they need to get it like now. They got T.J. Warren, Eric Bledsoe, Brandon Knight. What's the fake ass Porzingis wannabe?
Dragon
Bender, Marquise Chris. If you try to go get a big man,
Josh Jackson,
who I'm not high on, is another Jaylen Brown, Stanley Johnson type guy to me. So I don't know. I was hoping that they could have gotten a mix with Kyrie, but I don't think they were that aggressive. But I would definitely trade. Like I said, you put together Eric Bledsoe, T.J. Warren, or Josh Jackson. You can get somebody.
They're not going to trade Josh Jackson. That's one of the reasons why they didn't get in on Kyrie.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Eric
believe.
Bledsoe, T.J. Warren, Brandon Knight, Bender, Alex Len. Yeah, you can go get somebody legit to put with Devin Booker and Josh Jackson if you're that high on him.
Was it 30 games?
28.
Oh, so my bad. Under. Right there or under.
28 sounds about right. I feel like they should have traded Bledsoe for Kyrie. I really wanted to see Bledsoe on the Cavs with LeBron. I feel like that would have been so good for them.
Don't they call him like baby LeBron?
Yeah,
baby LeBron?
You would have had little LeBron and real LeBron on the same team. So, I felt like they really should have pursued that trade, and then it felt like it would have been a much better fit for them instead of having Isaiah Thomas. Because Isaiah Thomas, they were already being looked at as a bad defensive team. So, them having Bledsoe would have helped them so much.
Kyrie and Booker in the backcourt. That's
so much offense, very little defense.
Yeah. That's why you got Josh Jackson.
Your team, Portland Trailblazers, DMills, projected to win 42 games.
I can go use the bathroom on this team.
I'm going over. I would not be surprised though if after this season one of them are traded. Similar to the Golden State Warriors, Steph Curry, Monte Ellis thing, can they really coexist and actually be good enough to actually win more than a playoff series? So I would go over this year in hopes that they can make things happen. Hopefully Nurkic continues to play the way he did when he ended the season. He actually came in for that team and played really, really well.
Until he got hurt.
Yeah. But I'd go over, but not saying that they're going 50, but 42, I'm guessing 43, 44.
I think that's about right. I think they're kind of under the dilemma of where Russell Westbrook and KD were. It's basically just them and some okay players. Nurkic, he's going to do his thing. You can't really expect him to put up 20 and 10 a game, especially with CJ McCollum and Damian Lillard. Those are high-volume shooters. So, I mean, they're going to definitely take probably about a good almost half their shots, about half their shots. So, if they want to remain as a team, they're going to need a wing player to definitely come in that could help them establish like control. When Damian Lillard's shots not falling, CJ McCollum's shots not falling, who are they going to fall back on? And I think they just need that one more player, or definitely one's going to have to probably move in the future. But my bad. Well, what I said that was about right?
You said that was about right at 42.
I see. Yeah, they're gonna steal a couple games.
I think they can coexist, but I think, like Mike said, they don't have that wing. They're not going to get that wing. If they were going to get it, they would have got it a while ago. But they're not going to get it. They want Carmelo. They don't have shit to give the Knicks, so I don't think that's going to happen. And this is the type of thing I'm talking about for teams like Phoenix. Damian Lillard is a guy that you throw the entire sink at. You give anybody except Devin Booker. Josh Jackson and Eric Bledsoe and a pick and maybe one more person. That's a good trade for both teams. The Portland Trailblazers get Eric Bledsoe, McCollum, Josh Jackson, a pick. Fucking give them Bender, Chris, and then you got a backcourt with Devin Booker and Damian Lillard.
So,
how do you feel about that as a Portland Trail as a fan? Listen, say they're not contending for a championship anytime soon, right? So if I came to you as the Suns GM and I said I will give you Eric Bledsoe, Josh Jackson, a first round pick, and your choice of Bender, Chris, or Lynn for Damian Lillard.
That's tough. you kind of put them in a tough position because they're losing their franchise player and replaced for a bunch of young pieces. So, like you said, they're not contending anytime soon. So, those pieces would be like future assets. So, I don't know. It's kind of hard, but if they were to like try to get that wing player that they need, Damian would have to be there for that other wing player to want to come there. I feel like just having CJ wouldn't be enough. So, no.
As a Portland Trailblazers fan, what wing player would you like them? What type of wing player? Because there's a lot of types. You can get a defensive, you can get a scorer.
No, they need the like they had Batum. They need something.
That's a very rare type player.
Yeah.
Batum is in the class, not talent wise, but what he does is like LeBron James type shit. So I don't know if you can just find that anywhere.
Yeah, I know. I was hoping that they were gonna put something together for Paul George.
Me too. As a Paul George fan, I really wanted to see that happen too.
The big problem is they don't really have assets. Yeah, they don't have assets at all.
So you might want to start getting some and trade Lillard.
Or wait till the offseason and pull out the brake truck for him.
No. So you're gonna have to pay him, McCollum, and Lillard.
They already gave Lillard and McCollum their extensions.
Yeah, big money.
So
Now
big
you gotta
money.
pay Paul George.
Well, with the salary cap increase, I'm pretty sure they could figure it out.
Are you gonna pay that center?
Nurkic?
Are you gonna pay him?
How much is he worth? Are you trying to say he's a max?
If he shows that he's valuable, I mean, he's not going to be a max. He's not a max. But I mean, you already given 3 players max contracts. You're going to have to pay him something.
They also got a lot of money tied into Evan Turner, which y'all probably forgot.
Yeah, I know.
He's getting paid.
He does not need that money.
He does not want it.
I ain't going to go out there.
I was mad when they gave Allen Crowder that $75 million.
Yeah.
50 million.
They just...
No, they had matched what Brooklyn gave him, and Brooklyn matched.
I thought Brooklyn gave him and Tyler Johnson both $50 million.
No, Brooklyn offered to give him $75 million, and Portland matched that.
Just to trade him.
If you throw that trade to me, and I'm
You taking it?
I'm trading. I'm taking that. I mean, Damian Lillard, he's a great player. He has a lot, but he's not that player that's going to operate a team to the point where they're contenders. So I'd take that risk. You're going to get assets, even if that doesn't work. You have some names that you can now move, unfortunately, again. And CJ McCollum, you have to just take that chance with Eric Bledsoe and CJ McCollum. That's still a solid backcourt. It's not like you're not getting anything in return.
Yeah, but it's not like Damian and CJ can't coexist together.
No. I said that it's not that they can't coexist. It's that
They have nothing around them.
Yeah,
they have nothing around them to make that.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I mean, that shit ain't working.
Yeah.
So are you going to just continue to just be
middle of the pack?
Or less, because the West is only getting better. Lakers are only going to get better. OKC has gotten better. Houston has gotten better.
Portland's the only team that really just hasn't gotten better. They just really just fell from like top 5.
Aminu, Evan Turner, Mo Harkless, Jake Layman, Myers Leonard. Did he ever fucking play a game for them? Mm-hmm. Listen, Portland, I'm thinking about trying out for the NBA. Give me about 15 minutes, man.
All right, we're down to our last 3 teams here. San Antonio Spurs projected to win 54. I don't look at their roster and be like, yeah, this is 54. But it's the Spurs. It's the Spurs. They do it every single year. So because of that, I'm just going to agree. Not because I actually think this team is 54, which is because they have the greatest coach maybe of all time and a star player, Kawhi Leonard. And the rest don't really matter because for some reason they end up winning 50-plus every year.
2 names. I agree, but 2 names that I want to see help that cause. DeJounte Murray, Kyle Anderson. It's time for Kyle Anderson to put some type of contribution to the Spurs in a major way.
I don't think it's there.
It might not be, but if it is, it needs to happen now or that needs to...
I remember back in the day, you put me on. It was high school mixtape. He's like, this dude look like he's going to be great. And then...
I don't know what the problem is. He's in a great system. He likes to pass. He's slow. They're not an athletic ass team. I don't really know the problem with Kawhi Leonard, MVP candidate for me. Aldridge, yeah, I like him, but he needs to be back to the old average. I need some 40-point games or some shit like that.
I say
they paid Patty Mills too, did they? But they paid Patty Mills.
They didn't pay him. I don't think they had to pay him. Pretty sure he was.
They didn't give him bread, but he resigned. But they
Okay.
didn't throw a shit ton of money at him.
Nah.
All I say is Spurs, they get it done every year. I mean, if they add that big name of Dwayne Wade to their team, I feel like they could end up in a champ or not.
Yeah,
at
for
least
sure.
Western
Yeah.
Conference Finals possibility. They could take out Golden State, but it always depends on. I mean, they got a couple of new faces on their team. Rudy Gay. Can you see
I forgot
him?
to mention Rudy Gay.
Can you see him fitting in the Spurs system?
No, but I don't put anything past Popovich.
I'm
I'm
trying
not-
to figure out what's their starting lineup.
I'm not sure that he's even starting the season. I think he's still recovering from that big injury, so I don't think he's going to be there game one. I think they're projecting him to come back like right before All-Star break.
Hey,
I think you can put out a lineup that goes Aldridge at 5, Rudy at 4.
That's what I was
Lillard at
thinking.
3. I like that.
But you saying Gasol come off the bench?
No.
They're going to miss Dwayne Dedmon. As a
big
defender,
time.
a rim protector, and a rebounder, they're going to miss Dwayne Dedmon.
My bad for cutting you off.
oh, what was I saying? Oh, all I gotta say, I mean, even if they don't have that Rudy Gay, they find a way to get it done with these players because they bring back almost the same people every year. They already know what their job is to do on the floor, and you're not gonna find a team that's gonna do that better. So if they can find the role and they add, or Rudy Gay comes in and he does what he does, if they can add Dwayne Wade, that's good. It's all about how well they're gonna perform in the playoffs.
How do y'all think of this Rudy Gay 6-Man of the Year candidate?
If he's playing, it's possible. But again, if he's not coming back to the All-Star break, he's not even eligible.
That's
for
what they
that.
saying?
That's what I've read.
He's mentioning him is relevant there.
Did everybody go? I wasn't even paying attention. DMills, did you say
I think they won 60 games.
60?
I think they
Where are
passed
these wins
that. I
coming
think they
from? Not
passed
everybody
it.
can
I
win
think-
60.
I think-
Everybody can't win 60 games.
No, I'm just. They're gonna easily win 60 games.
I think they passed trying to get wins and shit like that.
The Spurs have never been we need to get 70 wins.
Well, they did it last year. Didn't they win 60 games last year?
But it's always just because the system they play in. They play so well.
They win games with their bench. When they sit their starters and they still win.
They
games
don't
with their
have
bench.
that bench. Jonathan Simmons is not back.
Yeah.
Tony Parker is hurt.
Whoa. 3 more years for Manu Ginobili.
Yeah.
He's there.
Manu's gonna
I
do
said
it.
Tony Parker.
Tony Parker wasn't even on the bench.
What? Yes, he comes off the bench.
Since when has Tony Parker came off the bench?
We talking about Manu Ginobili. I
But
said
you
Tony
just-
Parker
You
is
said
hurt.
Tony Parker.
Oh, I meant Manu. Tony Parker is hurt and Manu is coming off the bench. My bad.
Who's their starting point guard?
DeJounte Murray. Patty Mills.
We don't even know.
They might-
Honestly,
Hey,
it don't even really
Yeah,
matter.
it doesn't matter in
It
this
doesn't.
system. They're gonna both of them are gonna get minutes.
That's
Both
where
of them are
Chris
gonna
Paul
get
should have took
contributions.
his ass. But hey, you know,
I feel like Derrick Rose should have went there.
I would have loved that, but
They didn't offer.
they didn't.
They didn't offer anything. So
I feel like that really would have
My
helped.
bad.
next team. I said we had 3 more. Now we have 3 more.
Okay.
Toronto Raptors, 48 games. Another one of those teams that been in the middle of the pack, or they've been at the top of the pack, but never that next league because, of course, they're going against the best team in the league or the best player in the league every single season. I think that's fine. That's all I have to say. I don't have an opinion on DeMar DeRozan. I don't
Let's
have an
make
opinion.
them short.
Yeah, I
Golly.
don't. I don't have an opinion on DeMar DeRozan. Any of those dudes. I'm thinking that's fine. Still not gonna be enough to win the East, though.
Thank you.
All I have to say is, DeMar DeRozan, do your thing. You're not gonna win no championship. I don't even know if you might make it to the Eastern Conference Finals again, but do your thing. Hey, if you need to leave, do you?
I read somewhere that DeMar DeRozan going to expand. He's going to take a lot of threes. So that's saying that he's focused on him. He knows that he's Kyle Lowry, overrated, fat ass point guard. I'm not a fan of the fat point guards, the Raymond Felton-esque. I think that's the DeMar DeRozan team. A lot of people say it's Kyle Lowry team. I'm so done with that team. Fire Dwayne Casey. Get rid of whoever you need. Fuck.
They should fight Dwayne Casey like 3 years ago.
3 years ago. They get the same shit. They win about 47, 48 games a year. They had the time they won 50. They go deep and they give their fans hope. And you got Drake sitting quarters down. That shit is old. We tired of it. DeMar DeRozan, we want to see you in a Clippers or Lakers uniform throwing up crip. And we want to see that shit. So, man, make it happen.
Mills?
I've never been a fan of the Raptors, man. So, too many wins.
Okay. Second to last team, the Utah Jazz lost their star player, projected to win 40 games. I'm going over. I believe in Rudy Gobert. I believe that Rudy Gobert is the second best center in the league behind DeMarcus Cousins. Y'all can argue that if y'all want to, but that's my opinion. And I'm going over. I'm going 42-43. Yes, they lost their star player, but I still think even what they have right now, I think that the pickup of Ricky Rubio in hopes that Gordon Hayward will come back, I still think that's a great matchup for them. Having him giving the ball down to Rudy Gobert, who I think is going to have another big step offensively. I'm going over. What about you, Mike?
Where were they projected?
40.
I can see that. They have a lot of defensive capability. I don't see them wowing anybody with some, 50 or anything, but I can say that's pretty good.
I go over for one name. I want to see make a leap. Rodney Hood. Gordon Hayward being gone, I want to see Rodney Hood with more production. I like Ricky Rubio. I like Rudy Gobert. That's my pick for Defensive Player of the Year. He's not the second best center. I wouldn't dare take him over Karl Anthony Towns, but I do like him. And I like Quinn Snyder. So that's that.
I think 41 is about accurate. They're not going to do anything too special.
Okay. The last team,
Washington.
The Washington Wizards, 47 wins. I'm going over by a lot. They got the third best point guard in the league. Probably an all-star in Bradley Beal. Most likely an all-star if he can stay healthy this year, Bradley Beal. I do not see any reason why they shouldn't hit about 50 wins this season.
I agree. The Wizards they're a real deal. That's why I said if they match up with Boston,
real deal Bradley Beal, baby.
I feel like they're gonna win in 6 easily. They're gonna beat, and then everybody's gonna be upset. They're like, oh.
I thought they were gonna win last year, but then Kelly Olynyk decided to turn into Jesus, and then John Wall fell. He missed like the last 12 shots he attempted that game. So,
my pick for MVP is John Wall. So I think they will win 50-something games. Boston Celtics, they don't want to see that. But, yeah, they'll be good. I just don't like that they come with the same exact – I'm not a believer in teams that come with the same exact team. Same exact team. They added Jody Meeks, who's going to help. And they added fucking what the fuck is his name? Mike Scott from Atlanta. I think he can be all right. Well, pick and pop, stretch type shit with John Wall. But yeah, as far as I don't know. But coming back with the same team, I'm not a fan of that. But John Wall is the real deal. So yeah.
Mike, wrap it up for us. What you think about the Washington Wizards?
First things first, I believe in the John Wall effect. I know for a fact, John Wall is hungry.
Yes, sir.
There's no way, in his mind, there's no way he should have lost that series. So I know, first of all, his goal is Eastern Conference Finals, if not championship.
He's going for that fucking shit.
He's hungry because his whole career before his first couple years, he won no wins though. Now that he has that, he sees his team has the capability. I don't know.
That man does not get the credit he deserves. That is the MVP of this year.
The John Wall effect is so real. So real.
He makes his teammates better.
Jared Dudley played alongside John Wall, Chris Paul, and Steve Nash. When he was asked which one of them was the best point guard, he said John Wall. And that's the reason why Otto Porter got paid a max, because of John Wall. It's all there.
Markieff Morris got back to his old ways after who the fuck was he with? Phoenix, right. After he slowed down and had a terrible start, he got back to his old ways. Gortat has always been solid, but Gortat is definitely playing at a higher level than I thought he would be. When they had Nene was effective because of John Wall. Drew Gooden played some meaningful minutes with them before.
Right.
Cartier Martin, I can name a fucking bunch of people that John Wall has made better, but that's my MVP pick right now, John Wall.
Not only John Wall, but Bradley Beal. He played very well in the playoffs. So
I like Bradley Beal, but he at the beginning of last year when they was talking about him and John Wall's relationship, the alpha dog type shit. Right. I was like, come on now, Bradley Beal.
It's obviously John Wall's team.
I feel like they could definitely coexist.
For sure.
Oh, yeah. But the fact that he even...
They said it was overrated. Like John Wall said, I don't even know where this is coming from. Me and Brad, they may not be best friends, but they don't have this this thing that the media wanted it to happen.
Right, the Kyrie Deion Waiters type.
Yeah, they didn't.
But
Didn't happen.
I definitely watched Bradley Beal say that he felt like he was an alpha dog too. But that to me is insane because John Wall is the best player on that team.
Easily.
So.
For some reason, I don't know. Like when I watch them, of course that's John Wall's team, but Bradley Beal is definitely a big factor on that team. And he's almost like the Russell Westbrook when Kevin Durant was back there. Like when Kevin Durant was that man, Russell Westbrook, he was there. I mean, he wasn't labeled the man, but he's definitely like, I'm a leader on this team. So
respect. We're gonna call it there, boys. We had some more topics, but we've been going for like 2 hours. Yeah. So we'll save the other stuff for next week. Hopefully everybody did enjoy. Do y'all got anything to say as we wrap it up?
John Wall, go get you a ring.
Okay.
He can't get a ring with that team. He needs another piece.
Remember me saying OKC? OKC.
All right, boys. Thank you for watching, listening, whatever you did to get through this. And hopefully you did enjoy.
Through the wire.
Through the wire.